Hey, how's it going, everyone? And welcome again to another live stream on the channel. So, tonight we are talking about the Premier League possibly returning, but we don't know when yet. And possibly it looks like it'll be played behind closed doors as well. That's if it was to come back, and I want to get your thoughts and opinions on this as well, of what you think about should the Premier League return back? Should it be behind closed doors? Or should the season just be voided completely? So that's why I've done another live stream to get your thoughts and opinions on this as well. And hopefully you can all hear me as well. So, yeah, so now let's get into some comments that have been that people have sent so far. So here we go. Andrew and UFC, evening PN, everyone. Hi, evening, and welcome to this live stream as well again. So, yeah, another one from Jonathan Young. He says, evening PM, mate, evening. Welcome to the stream and hope you're keeping well. Another one from Riley NUFCYT says, hi, hope you're doing all right. We've got another one from Ian Smith. He's also a Newcastle YouTuber as well. So feel free to check him out as well. I think he's just got over 400 subscribers, something like that. Aye. Evening to you. Welcome to the stream. And you can pop in as well if you would like to. This one from Lawrence. He says, hi, Pierre Harry, man. Hope you're doing well. Riley again. NUFCYT says, Harry again. Hi. He said, how's everyone doing? Yeah, I'm all doing good, and I hope everyone else is as well. So here we go. Liam and UFC's just cancel it, but Leeds adds in West Brom. I heard there was partly talk of that, whether that could work or not, but possibly we're just got to wait and see. I know it's majority if it was to go ahead, it is down to money, definitely. To be honest, but it's low. I think it's like the lower league clubs you fear for the most that they've voided the season completely. And if that needs to go behind closed doors, how are they going to get the money in for things like that to keep their club running? Because I think they rely on people going to the games a lot of the time. So, yeah. Ian's hold on, we'll just go back to Jonathan Young. Games need to be played. That's a fair option, yes. A lot of people say that the games want to be completed for the rest of the season to be completed, definitely. Ian Smith, again, he says, I think they should play the season whenever it's safe to finish it, even that's November, December. That's a possibility because I'm expecting so far to games be behind closed doors for a long time, because even though this lockdown could be over, they might only ease some of the restrictions, but they might not see to go mass gather straight away, so possibly. And then adjust the 2021 season, yeah, possibly as well. Good bro, mine. Dean, he says, even how are you? Yeah, I'm all good, thanks, and yourself? And yeah. The priority for me is to complete the season, however long it takes. Yeah, fair option. I know a lot of fans are definitely missing football games at this moment of time. Yeah, definitely. So, but hopefully we can get it back up and running again soon. But we don't know when that will be yet so far. So, yeah. Andrew and UFC, he says, fully agree with you. You know, I've just missed the comment he said before that. Thanks, mate. Yeah, past 400 today, which is awesome. Nice one. Go ahead, support him, help him reach 500 next, or whatever your next subscriber target is next. So, yeah. Go back. Andrew says, fully agree with you, Ian. We just need to finish the season, however long it takes when it's safe to do so. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It's a good thing. Lawrence says, would cancel the remaining games, do what France have done, and base the final table on PBG with European place given out. That is a possibility. That could do that. No, the French league decided to finish their season, and they give PSG the title by this moment of time. So if that was to happen to the Premier League, they could just give it to Liverpool, who are just so many miles in front at this moment of time. And you can't see anyone so far catching them. Definitely not so far at this moment of time. So yeah, he says, "Who would your first two key signings for Newcastle if the takeover goes through?" It's a hard one actually at the moment. I'm undecided so far this time. Would I give Cavani maybe a chance? That's maybe a possibility, even though he's into his 30s now. But again, it's hard to predict at this moment who we're going to get if this takeover does happen, because there's also a chance what if it doesn't happen? We'll be back to square one again, as always. And he's just had from the common meaning first, yeah. Ian Smith says that Lawrence, my issue with that solution is that some players have had an easier schedule. There have to be some sort of waiting based on previous season finishes or positions or something. I know. I've heard some people with that. I know they want to get the season back up and running at some place. I know there's people that they could wear masks. They could play at certain Premier League venues. I mean, so, and Ian Smith said, I said not play as teams. He meant, yeah. I know some of the when they had that meeting, they wanted to finish. A lot of Premier League clubs have ordered to try and finish the season off. Definitely. Liam NUFC says Liverpool deserve to win the league. Even Man United must have. Well, yeah, they do absolutely. They've done very well to get so many points ahead, and they've been absolutely deadly so far this season, even though they might have had some performances where they've not played fantastic. But still, a lot of the games, you just look at that attacking front three of Salah, Firmino, and Mane. It looks so deadly, doesn't it? And there's definitely a lot of goals in between that. So, yeah. Lawrence Taylor says, could just relegate Norwich and Villa 20th and 19th in the PBG League. Let Bournemouth, Watford and West Ham stay up, give Leeds and West Brom promotion as they're 7 and 6 points above third. That's a possibility, but I'll have to have a look. Because to be honest, I've not checked the Premier League table for a while. I'm not sure how many points it's between the bottom three and the likes of 15th, 16th and 17th. So, but yeah. Liam UFC says, or a relegation playoff like what the Scottish League does. Yeah, I've seen that they do that. So that could maybe be a possibility. So you never know. So, and Lawrence Taylor says, even promote them both. Cancel next season's Carabao Cup. Tell play clubs pay the extra 4 games and have 5 relegations for next season. Possibly if it was to come back and, or if the next season's, if we avoid this season, then next season starts to bring. We'll have more than just 20 teams in the thingy. Jonathan Young says, if Liverpool awarded the title, teams should be relegated. I'm not a fan of this, so we just need to get the season complete whenever it's safe. This will save on a major litigation issues. Yeah, that's a possibility. I know people said if the season was to be avoided, it would be unfair to just hand Liverpool the title. Well, look back in the Dutch leagues, they avoided that, and they didn't get Ajax the title, didn't they? So they just didn't give any title to anyone. So that time, but I know the French league, they give PSG the title for that. Probably could have been because there were so many points in front by the looks of it. But yeah, Andrew NUFC says, for me, the 2021 season is relevant until we finish the remaining matches of the season. Yeah, that's a definite possibility as well. Yes, so yeah. Ian Smith says, yeah, a playoff could be an option for relegation and promotion. Yeah, that is definitely a possibility as well. As you said, the Scottish leagues do that. So, yeah. And Ian Smith at Andrew NUFC says, I agree with that as well. So, Lawrence says, think the bottom 6 are acting like babies when they're happy to play the remaining games without relegation. Hard to give relegation European place if you play the full season. Yeah. I can totally see where you're coming from with that one. Lawrence just says only without Lehman UFCs and 5 teams getting relegated next season, Lawrence. Yeah, could be a possibility as well. EWFC, I agree about a relegation playoff. It might happen. I would love it to happen because you're thinking Scottish leagues are doing that, but why aren't some other ones doing that as well? So the Andrew NUFC, the issue with that is I'd say Ian Smith, I'd be in favour of scrapping both cups if we have a short 2021 season. Again, possibly, but I think us Newcastle fans will want to try and go in the FA Cup again. So done well to get to the quarterfinal so far. But yeah, that is definitely a possibility. Lawrence says Ajax were level with AZ on points, so it's understandable why they didn't get the title. PSG were 12 points ahead with the game in hand. Oh, well, then fair play. So that is definitely the reason why they didn't give Ajax the title, because they were level on points. But if PSG were 12 points ahead with a game in hand, then again, that's totally understandable, because you probably can't see catching a PSG at this moment of time with 12 points and also with the game in hand as well, when you probably expect them to win it, because their squad is just so good with the likes of, they've still got Cavani, still got Mbappe, Neymar, players like them, you name it. Definitely. Liam and UFC's Liverpool are one way like from winning the league, so you can't compare to the Dutch league. Yes, well, as I said, no, you can't see anyone just catching them if their season was definitely to come back at some point as well. So Ian Smith again says, do you think the behind closed doors game will happen? It could possibly. You never say never. So yeah, there you go. So at WWE, even though it's wrestling, but it's still a sport based in America, when they've got one of the worst death rates so far, they're doing their shows behind closed doors. Even did WrestleMania behind closed doors as well. It was just very unusual, wasn't it? And you see them coming in contact with each other. They're not doing social distancing. So yeah, because I've got no new comments coming in so far, maybe it's a good idea to get the link to, if you want to drop into the stream. So here you are. So if you want to come into the stream, feel free. So, and yeah, it'd be good to get your thoughts and opinions as well about this as well. So just wait and see if anyone does tune in at this moment of time. So yeah, so it's a bit of a waiting game at the moment, because no one's sent any new comments in so far, and yeah, so just wait and see if anyone does pop in the live stream. So yeah, bit of a waiting game at the moment, because no one's just played it back and just gave me another subscriber. Thank you very much, whoever just gave me a subscriber as well. It's so far, it's behind on my phone so far. So, but yeah. Jonathan Young, we've got a couple of extra comments coming in. He says, it all depends on the government advice whenever the mass testing is available, and the Premier League can be confident of a COVID-19 free environment. Yeah, hopefully. I know Boris has said they think they're at the end of the peak of the virus, but again, we'll just wait and see, because yeah, they'll definitely is up to the government. Like, he is in charge of what businesses can open, what has to stay closed, etc., what sports events have to stop and all that as well. I would just read one more comment, because it looks like Lawrence is going to pop up in the live stream. So we'll just quickly read this comment. I've just watched Sunderland Till I Die to laugh at them and watch them lose. Ha ha, yes. Yeah, I've not seen the new one yet. So here we go. Okay, so we will get Lawrence in the live stream now. So here he comes.
Hey.
How you doing?
All right. How are you?
Yeah, Kenny, thanks. And yeah.
So,
Lawrence, what do you think about the season? If it was to come back, do you expect it to be played behind closed doors? There's so many Premier League grounds it could play at. St James's Park apparently has not been mentioned one of the venues to be played at. Do you agree with all of this that's coming?
I would personally cancel it, as I've mentioned in the comments, and then put out points per game.
Because health is safety becomes first.
Yeah, because one player gets the virus, then the whole league's screwed. As
That's a
for
possibility, yes. All I
as
can
for
think
like
is
as for grounds, you probably want to be in the middle of the country to reduce the travelling. Because I don't want like Newcastle travelling down to like London or Brighton. I mean, I know we've actually got to play Watford and Brighton away.
Like some London clubs have been picked. I think Arsenal, West Ham, the Olympic Stadium's been mentioned. I think also there was news of possibly Wembley, St George's Park was mentioned as well.
Yeah.
I think Brighton Stadium, the Amex Stadium, was the one that was mentioned as well. And it's just like, and I think both both Manchester clubs, Man United and Man City, I think their grounds were listed as well. So they've gone from like the northwest all the way down south, which they're probably looking at.
I would personally probably put it maybe York, maybe Sheffield, Northwest clubs, maybe Leicester.
Obviously, because Newcastle are going to have to travel the furthest.
Yeah.
If they can play the remainder of the games, and St James's Park's not going to be used again this season.
Potentially for us, you're probably looking at Burnley's ground would be the best, but maybe it's Northwest ground or Sheffield United. That would be all right.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it would have to be like isolation camps. So, as was mentioned, if one player, but as I say, one player contract, well, really they should be sent home, but then it'll just push the league back. So I think just think about preparing for next season, and do the table on like points per game.
It could be a possibility, I suppose. We'll just go through some more comments and Riley, and you'll see join the stream in person if you want. Just click the link, and you might as well join the stream as if it was FaceTime. Yeah, definitely. Next one says Liam NUFC. Next season, I expect it to be like a championship if it turns out to a 22 league play on a Saturday and midweek. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility.
This is what I'm thinking. They might have to cancel the Carabao Cup.
With too many games like colliding.
Yeah, and probably not be as many internationals because we've only got 4 teams left to qualify for the next Euros because of all this. Because that'll give clubs give us like more space on the calendar to play the extra games.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Riley in UFC YT says, who would you like to be manager of the two? And if the take, I said I would take Rafa back, but I'll also give Pochettino a chance as well.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, he says again, if over goes through, definitely. Jonathan Young says there's no chance of the Premier League being a 22 team league. Well, never know. To be honest, it wouldn't shock me if it wasn't, because it's always been a 20 league team.
I think it'll be complicated to do 22 team league.
Possibly.
But it was shocking. You suggested the idea of Leeds and West Brom coming up, no relegations, but 5 relegations next year.
Possibly, yeah. Andrew NUFC says, I don't think Leeds and West Brom can be promoted, and at the same time, no relegations from the Premier League. That wouldn't work. Huh?
Yeah, that's what you mentioned. So mentioned just now.
Possibly as well. Another comment from Retro NUFC. That's Jay. He says, hello, lads. I hope you're doing well. Feel free to check them out as well at Retro NUFC on YouTube as well. So, yeah. So, do you think there's as I mentioned, do you think that there's a chance the Premier League could come back, or do you think it's mostly going to be voided overall?
I can't see as no one voiding the league. I think it's because Liverpool are too far ahead. And also I think we face like financial the Premier League would have big financial consequences from UEFA if they did that. I think it's the same in Italy, Spain, Germany, like the main 4 leagues in Europe. I think they'll put it behind closed doors next month, but I'd just scrap the rest of the games, points per game table. And to be fair, the teams that go down, if there's like 2 or 3 teams that go down, for me, they kind of complain because they should have just done more throughout the season.
Yeah. What also that was broken on Sky Sports yesterday is that they're looking to get prepared possibly next season for games to go in behind closed doors as well, because that is a possibility as well.
It wouldn't surprise me. I don't think it necessarily means it'll happen, but it is pretty worrying. I mean, I haven't even seen a win as a football fan at a game since the Gateshead Chester game at the end of January. So that kind of like makes it a bit worse for me. But
don't know how long the
it might have to be
going to be in place for completely.
It might have to be like the only option. Then again, it's kind of like a new thing we don't really know much about, so we'll just kind of see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. I'll just go throughout some more comments. Retro NUFC say again, could have a shower. Yeah, just give you one before. So yeah, as I said, feel free to check his channel, Retro NUFC. Really, NUFC YT just sent some laugh faces, probably what I just touched on just before. Andrew NUFC says they would have to consider the Euro places as well.
Yeah,
that is yes, definitely, because if it's true that if Man City could be getting kicked out of the Champions League, we don't know definitely.
Because I think potentially, Arsenal might just beat Spurs to that European places that just been handed out because of the ban for Man City. But I think the only change that would definitely happen, major change, would be Sheffield United jumping above Wolves. But even then, both teams would get Europa League. It would still be the same 3 going down.
It wouldn't surprise me if Wolves were to get the Champions League at some point, because I think they've done fantastically. They definitely maybe have a chance of possibly the Europa League if that does come back. As again, no news on that being scrapped completely, I don't think, so far as well. Liam NUFC says Villa fans would say they still got a chance on survival. Norwich fans has accepted relegation. Yeah, Norwich definitely near them to definitely be relegated on the bottom of the league. Not won many games, even though they took 4 points from us this season, which was the 3-1 defeat. Still technically scratches people's heads these days and thinking, how on earth did that happen?
And then we win at Spurs a week later.
Aye, exactly, yes. Ian Smith says, yeah, the issue with relegation is 18th place. It's wide open, and whoever ends up relegating in 18 would feel hard done by. Yeah, that is definitely true. I mean, there's still some teams that could potentially be on the verge of being relegated still, so just don't rule the bottom 3 completely, apart from Norwich.
Yeah, that's what I'm maybe thinking. Part of the reason why I'm maybe thinking just Norwich and Villa go down. And to be fair, if they go down, they deserve it 100%. But I think Bournemouth, Watford, West Ham, if one of them gets relegated, then for me they've had enough quality to do better than what they have this season.
Yeah. See, with Watford, they had a really nightmare to the start of the season. And ever since Nigel Pearson's come in, he's got them playing very well again, definitely.
And
Bournemouth have been surprised how they've struggled badly this season. Eddie Howe, I definitely rate him as a manager, but
that's why I'm kind of thinking they should be doing a bit better than they are.
Mm-hmm. Got some really good players like Callum Wilson, Josh King in there as well, and we've just got to wait and see. But I do rate Eddie Howe as a manager.
Yeah,
definitely. Who else is not safe? I don't. West Ham not completely safe yet. Don't think as well. Southampton, I think, is another one. I don't think are completely safe as well.
Brighton as well, because I think they've won one game this year.
Well, I'm gonna have to check up on the full league table anyway and see where people are still safe, because I've not checked it for a while. So, but so the bottom 3, you've got Norwich, you've got Villa, second bottom. Bournemouth is in the bottom 3. So Bournemouth, 17th, Watford, both Bournemouth, who sit at the bottom three, and Watford, who are fourth bottom, and West Ham, who are fifth bottom. Both of them 4 teams. Both 3 of them teams, Bournemouth, Watford, and West Ham, they both sit on 27 points each.
Yeah,
actually,
and they play 29 games.
Yeah, well, actually, Villa, they actually do have a game. Well, yeah, Villa do have a game in hand as well.
Yeah, but I think they'd lose that against Sheffield United.
Yeah, it's a possibility. Sheffield United have done brilliant this season.
Yeah,
as well, definitely. Massive credit to Chris Wilder, the way he's got them. They're doing them in this season so far. But yeah, see, Norwich are 6 points from safety. Villa are 2 points from safety, and of course, as I touched upon, Bournemouth, Watford, and West Ham are all on 27 points each. Above that, Brighton are just who in 15th are only on 29 points. So
they're not out of it.
Yeah, possibility. So, well, there's 5 points between 14th and 15th, and sitting 14th is Southampton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll go through to some more comments. Liam UFC says next season Wolves will get top for you edifice in a massive chance. Excuse me. They've got players like Raul Jimenez, Diego Jota, Ruben Neves, players like that, Adama Traore, who can absolutely terrorize the defense. And he also says if Bournemouth go down, we may as well add Fulham to join Leeds and West Brom, possibly. But I think the playoff positions are still open at this moment of time. I mean, again, we'll have a look.
What was I going to say? I'm thinking maybe you might want to play the playoffs if it's safe to do so, but if not, then probably just 2 promotions, 2 relegations.
Well, sitting in the playoffs are Fulham, Brentford, Nottingham Forest, and Preston North End. Look at them. Next, NUFC says next year's will be the West Ham gets relegated. Well, if they don't improve, I know they went back to David Moyes, which is a bit of a strange one, but it all depends. But I think hopefully Gerard Bourne would be definitely a good addition to them, definitely. So Liam UFC say Brighton are 2 points above Bournemouth. Yep. Definitely as well. So Ian Smith, he says, here's a suggestion to take it back to 28 games played for all, so it's even, but can't remember how that changed. I believe Bournemouth would be out of the bottom 3.
Thing is, thing is, like, what the teams who have played 29 games, like, what result do you take away from them? I mean, potentially, the weekend of the Carabao Cup, I mean, we'd only lose 1 point because we drew 0-0 shock against Burnley.
Oh, definitely. That was when Bruce decided to change his formation, but
we played all right in the game, but we're just like the cutting edge.
It looks like my friend Dean's joining, but I think you've put in the thingy, Dean. You've put my YouTuber name. I think you're gonna have to change that to your name because honestly, it's gonna look a bit strange if you do that. But I'll tell you what. So if he wants to change that, but we can add him in. Should we add him in?
Yeah.
There he is, Dean. How you doing?
Hey lads.
I was gonna say, Dean, you might need to change that PD Proudlock because you've got it still the same as my YouTube name, but
sorry, it was just apparently I only added because I could have live stream. That's what I did on Sharky's channel.
You know when it says the name and you've got the button where it says enter a broadcast studio. It'll give you. If you put your own name, they'll still accept you into the broadcast studio.
Oh, no worries. I'll do that next time.
Okay.
So how are you two doing after yesterday's quiz?
Oh God, some stinkers in that.
I've started. I've started coming up with questions.
No, good. At least I'll be ready for Sunday and all that once I've been practicing and all that.
Aye.
Right. Right. Was there a discussion there of the possible return of the Premier League? For me,
what do you think about that? The Premier League could possibly come back, but it looks like we'll go behind closed doors, and they've only picked like the certain amount of Premier League games plus other venues like possibly Wembley, St George's Park. But as I said, St James's Park was apparently not mentioned on the list. So, what do you make of those?
Looking at this, because I said it from like I said from the Sharkies channel, I think they should null and avoid because it's just going to cause. I think it's going to spread the disease more badly with not only the players, also the staff who treat the players and also treat how their well-being and all that. And there's been reports that the players are a bit scared because in case they do have to go back playing the Premier League, and plus they might be scared that the family are going to get the disease as well. So that's going to be a main fear. But mutual venues and us not being part of it, it's a shame for us, but they should have put the venue somewhere near the Midlands, like probably Sheffield United will be one of them, and plus Burnley, and the other one is the other venues would be close as long as it was close to us, but with venues down London because they had the highest rate from the start of it, and that's concerns me that it might shoot up again like the second peak. But for me, about the who will get relegated, I would say Norwich will be accept relegation, but to me, it's a bit of like a twist and turn for me. Bournemouth look like they relegated. Aston Villa look the 19th in the table, and they're slightly possibly getting relegated. So that's going to be the situation. And if it was me, I would have give them a relegation. But to me, it's just don't know. But promotion wise for the Championship, I would give Leeds and West Brom because Leeds have been, let's just say, been brilliant this season, and so has West Brom. How they've done about it, and the playoffs for me, it's just anyone can get the playoffs, like Bristol City, Brentford. Brentford had a good season as well, so they could have a chance probably in the Premier League at some point. But in the playoffs, it's guessing who's who. But I would give West Brom and Leeds a promotion, but I think everyone say it's not fair on other teams not getting the playoffs. But it's like questions, though. It's just really, for me, I just don't know what's going to happen because the way the situation with the news and all that, and the death rate's still rising, but they say it's been the lowest death rate since March 30th.
Yeah.
And you just don't know. End of the day, it still casts as a death rate and all that. So it could be a point.
It could go up again, the death rate. You never know.
Yeah, it is because you never know. The second peak could happen at any moment. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
And we'll go to some more cons that have been Andrew and UFC. Bournemouth have got some very difficult games left to play. I can't see them surviving. If the season restarts, a possibility, but
I agree on that. Bournemouth have got tough games
manager, and they've got some really good squads. So you're thinking, what has been their problem all season? That's why they're sitting in the bottom.
Yeah, I went on the predictor. I still had them to go down. And I think they would go down if things like normal. Yeah, like we were able to play the games. They'll be on like the final day.
We've got another one who's joined on the live stream. Patrick Minikin says, I honestly think the fairest thing to do would be to abandon this season and then start next season with the season fixtures. That could be a possibility. I know some of the leagues have completely cancelled the rest. And so never say never that the Premier League could do that still, definitely.
I agree on that. So they should ban it because then they did. If they're definitely still high, then they should ban it altogether.
Off from 30,000 now, I think.
Like, I just think cancelling the remaining games would be like a precaution to like keep the death rate low. even if it is behind closed doors, because what if you know, an elderly member of like club staff catches it and dies from it?
Yeah, there's a possibility of that in it. And Jonathan Young, he says the people who make the argument of null and void, they do understand that null and void means literally voiding of the season, no title rewarded, no relegation. That's why we need to finish the season completely. Yeah, I've seen some people have said that as well.
Yeah, but it won't be fair on Liverpool not getting the
Exactly.
title, even though they had a big
I think they
point
deserve the
majority.
title.
That's going to be.
I think that's the only reason why. That's the only reason why for me, Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Everton, Man United, and Spurs fans are saying null and void. I just think it's because there's some of them being dickhead too happy for this just so Liverpool can't win the league. I mean, some of them like you've won enough, like, but you can't handle a club you don't like winning one title.
Yeah.
But I think for null and void, it was pretty silly to do this in like the lower leagues. South Shields missed out on like inevitable promotion.
Yeah, true.
And
but it was a close. At the last
think,
table, like South Shields was like really close, like losing the first spot. Because either way, if South Shields didn't lose that last game against the United States, that would have changed the title. Like not only the title, probably the promotion, because they would have battled the playoffs against like they did last season.
Well, I think they were too. I think they were too far ahead for me. For me, they were too hard ahead, like not to put them up. But I mean, what was I going to say? And I think we'll just play too many games for it to be null and void.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things you just don't know, because this pandemic is really giving everyone question what's going to happen after the lockdown and what's going to be is the social justice still going to be part of it? Like,
social distancing still be in place if these majority of the restrictions.
I still think it'll definitely happen in shops. I think.
Yeah.
And I know when McDonald's reopen some of their restaurants next week, it's delivery only, which is right.
Yeah, delivery, drive-through only. Yeah, I've seen that as well. Liam UFC says anyone from Swansea who are 10th upwards can realistically get to the playoffs. Yes, that is definitely a possibility.
Yeah, I would say that if they realistically got a chance, then playoffs definitely.
Championship, it's more competitive now than what it used to be.
Oh, it has been very competitive this season. So, City's done fantastic, and Brentford. But yeah, Brentford's starting to show that they got a good chance of reaching the playoffs and plus probably get promoted, win the playoffs and get promoted into the Premier League. And that'll be fantastic seeing some different team there in the Premier League.
Yeah. What does Ivan Oliver says? He says, "Hi, Pierre. Not good for the stewards that actually work there in any clubs as well." Yeah, possibility. Yes, but if the game
that's going to be the main touch. Way touch that is like, I think not only like I said to the staff, or if they do let the fans in and then possibly let the stewards to like control how the fans like get to the seats and all that, because then they're there just to make sure the fans don't cause trouble and all that. And if they do let the fans in and the stewards, that is going to be really dangerous for the stewards, even though if they might catch it if someone has the virus. So that is a good question what he's put there. That only if they bring the fans back, then that's going to be an issue. But it's just really the end of the day, just behind closed doors till the governments find every case of the virus, and then once they find no cases of it, then we might look at the next step if then the fans or in case of the situation as well, or other things as well.
Definitely, yes. Liam in UFC, he says Barrow should be allowed to get promoted. They fully deserve it. Yeah,
because they had a big league majority, and plus they also had a good points tie, and they should get promoted definitely 100% because they deserve it truly. And it's not fair on Barrow not to include in South Shields. It's not fair on them, even though they could have done brilliant this season. But Barrow deserve to be in the Football League, and they should definitely do so. But the situation with the playoffs, I don't see it. But I think Barrow should get the guaranteed title and promotion as well to the Football League. It is confusing because you don't know, because end of the day, they don't reserve relegation or anything like that.
Yeah. With Jonathan Young, he says we will have at least another 3 weeks of the current lockdown measures. Can't see anything change to the current social distancing rules until June at the earliest possibility. But I think Boris is supposed to give his
I would say that.
speech
I'll say
on
June earliest, but
Sunday.
I think it's going to be a bit more. I'll be shocked. I would say it'll go on to July or August. That's at least, because I don't see it end the distance until June, because we've got another month, so you don't know if things can change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well,
but
Boris
I
is
would say
supposed
it's
to give
beyond
his
that, beyond June. I would say that.
But I think he'll allow shops to be open, but it would be like
Mm.
delivery if you can.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what Boris says when he makes it. Apparently, it's Sunday. He's supposed to make his
Wow.
speech about this or what?
No, it's Thursday. It's Thursday. It's
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah,
He's going
totally
to
Thursday.
have the next steps. Yeah, the next steps and all that. So I'm waiting on that, and let's hope
Sunday now.
that's going to be it. Mm.
I will just say so. You're just thinking, what will he do first? What he'll lift? What he'll keep in place? So you expect social distancing will be kept in place, but he said some non-essential business might open again, possibly. Like,
Yeah.
have people going like how they're doing it with supermarkets, allow so many people in
Yeah.
at a time and things like that.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah,
fast food
that's-
restaurants, you'd expect it'll still be on delivery or takeaway at this moment in time.
There's been reports that McDonald's is going to reopen around middle of May, and they're saying they're going to have like the deliveries, and plus
Yeah, that's
also
it.
they're going to have the social distancing as well.
Yeah.
And Greg's were about to open this week, but they had to close it because they're worried about, it's going to be a big crowd. So at the end of the day, is the way Greg's did it is like they did the right thing, because I think that would have been really bad on the reputation, because at the end of the day, if they catch the disease and their reputation is going to be tarnished. So,
Yeah.
but let's just see what happens with the news of Boris. And at the end of the day, if we have to stick to them, we have to stick to them, because I know some people don't like the rules, but at the end of the day, it's for their own well-being and well-good.
There is to
That
save
way, a
people's
few
lives
weeks will kill them.
and stopping this
Yeah,
virus.
a few weeks won't kill them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A few weeks won't kill them. That's the end of the day.
I think they've lifted it completely. Apparently, there was a lot of people out in the streets in Italy, and maybe because they've not been
But-
getting more.
but
It's starting to ease a bit, but there's
Yeah.
been like few businesses open, but they're just taking it easy step by step, because Italy had the worst real case of the coronavirus,
Yeah.
and plus a lot of deaths as well.
Um,
And they're starting to take it easy for now, but I think Italy won't be the same, because at the end of the day, all the countries that had disease and everything like that, they're not going to be the same, because it's going to take a long time before they be as it's would have been a really bad situation. But it's really horrible seeing so many people's lives gone.
Yeah.
And the worst thing about it, like they leave their loved ones behind, and then also they're really upset that it's just happened to them, therefore that you had someone close and gone just like that with a disease.
Yeah, I think we have to. I think we have to see like what happens, like with other countries, like if like reducing their measures, like see the effects of it. If their death tolls like shoot back up, then we'll say then we should say like no, we'll wait on this one.
Possibly. Well, I'm going to read something out here in this regards with the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
And apparently I think they were supposed to come back very, very soon, but apparently that's been under threat because of Salomon Kalou, former Chelsea player, apparently broke the social distancing rules.
Wow.
Apparently have tested positive for the coronavirus as well.
Well,
oh bloody hell!
I think Bundesliga need to do what like
that's the first news I heard about.
Yeah, I think everyone else needs to do what kind of like France is doing and just cancel the remaining games, points per game table.
Yeah, I'll just get some more points out. Turn on me TV shot. He says, "Good evening, lads." Yeah, very John, how are you doing?
Good evening, Shock.
You on the live stream at some point as well. Jonathan Young said, "Ari Chucky as well." Andrew NUFC says it's difficult to see when the next time we'll see 52,000 at St James's Park ever again. I mean, like, it'd probably be
going to be a long time before we see 2,000 fans. That's going to be a very long time.
Yeah.
But that's just one of those things you just don't know.
Aye, possibly. Well, Lehman UFC this, and he actually sent me a link to this. This was apparently going to TalkSport, I think. Can you see the Premier League games being played in Australia? I know Lawrence mentioned he doesn't want us to travel far to neutral stadiums. TalkSport, to me, should be called Talk
Mm-mm.
Shite.
I don't see that.
They just took a lot of crap now these days, and
That's a load
again,
of
you
crap.
get on
That's
a
a load
plane.
of. That's a load.
He
Of,
said,
and the worst thing about it, that's the worst. Yeah, it's the longest trip you ever been in. But Australia, playing
you
Premier
could
League
have
in Australia, that's
so
never
many
unheard of.
staff and players getting on a plane. You're still probably going to be sitting next to each other, and
Yeah.
and I cannot see going to Australia.
Nah.
Definitely no chance. Think of the time difference.
No chance.
there as well.
Nah. Plus, sports starts early in the morning, and I don't see people getting up in the morning and watch Premier League. That's just messing the times up.
It's like
Aye.
when I was over in Australia, right?
Yeah.
Those only game I think I caught was only two of them actually. And that was when we lost 2-0 to Man United, which was like an 8 o'clock kickoff.
It,
But it was like
It-
7 a.m. in the morning over there.
aye. And
I
was it
was there
Chelsea
at the
2-1 game
Newcastle.
that you also caught?
Yeah, I
I
was
caught
at
the
the.
Blackburn game, and that was like
I was at the
was
Newcastle United game when Man U lost 2-0.
Aye.
the ones I didn't catch was like I didn't catch Watford away because that was a 3 o'clock, so that was like 2 in the morning, and I think I was knackered. Whatever I was doing, hair that in the same with the Chelsea game when we lost 2-1 as well. I mean, like
4 in the morning.
Yeah, there you go. We'll go through just some more comments. Toonami TV says, even yes, Jonathan. Sorry, he said he might come on around 9 o'clock. Still good work. Says, keep up the good work here. Yeah, cheers, man. Jake Lewis says, yo, you're doing all right. Liam NUF says, and Australia's like a 27 hours flight and they're 11 hours ahead of us. It is 20 odd hours, 27, unless you include in stops off as well, because when I went, we stopped in Dubai for about 2.5 hours.
I mean, let's be honest, there would be stops off.
I mean, like, you've got like a 7 or 8 hour flight to Dubai. You have a 2 and a bit hour break there. But then you get on another flight to Australia and you're talking 13, 14 hours wherever your flight is as well. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Longest flight you have been on.
Oh, definitely. I felt worse when I got home.
Yeah,
Patrick
it's like jet lag. That's all.
This is an interesting one. Patrick Minikin, he says, would players have to social distance during a goal celebration as well?
Yeah, I think this is one of the issues with bringing back the games
that's
this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, sadly, no. Distance, at the end of the day, when distance applies, then you can't go close to someone or anything like that.
Unless they use like,
it's gonna be hard.
Yeah. Unless they did like bubble football, like I've seen on social media.
Or do the soldier tap, or the elbow tap.
Yeah, I mean,
because I just missed something else that he said as well. And they're like 11 hours ahead of us as well. Yes, I know Sydney, Canberra were like 11 hours. But the Gold Coast, where I was at for the final part, that was 10 hours, I think, ahead of us as well. So, yeah. Oh, here's a question from Mr. Archer.
Archer.
Says, yeah, right. Hope you keep well.
Archer.
We'll join very soon. Yeah, no problem. We'll get you in again at some point, Archer. And Jonathan Young says, Archer, aye, aye. So I said I'll post the link back in. So when another one just join, it would mind.
I'll do it because I was on first.
Yeah, no problem. Well, we'll just wait.
Yeah, you first, and then when no one joins in, and then I'll follow up.
Get in. Yeah,
and then next time I'll change the initials. Yeah, it was just new technology. Yeah, it's just new.
Studio. That's what to do next.
I thought it was just meant the channel one and not like my name, because I thought they wouldn't recognize me or anything like that.
Oh, no, you just put your name in there. So
At least I know next time. When next time I do the stream, at least I'll put my name in and probably Shoggy. I bet surprised Shoggy didn't mention that.
Aye.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let gonna say in the comments, guys. So if the season was to come back, when do you think it would come back? If it was to come back and be behind closed doors. So again, get your things in the comments on when you expect the Premier League to come back, when it's safe to do so as well.
Good
Next month.
question. I would say it'll come back around about June time. I would say June at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
If the situation starts to calm down a bit, then I would say June at the least. I don't see it coming back around May time. That's never going to happen. That's like unlikely, never going to happen. But
Yeah.
I would say June at least. I'll say middle of June or end of June. That's the only thing I
Yeah.
can put my
Yeah.
thing on that. So
Yeah.
that's all I got to say about that. But
yeah.
for me, June will be at least.
Yeah. I think if the government go ahead with the project restart thing, then yeah, June. But I think a hint that it's probably going to happen is that I think Wolves players come back into training soon.
Mm.
I mean, there's talking like,
And Arsenal was supposed to come back like around April time, but then they just cancelled it just in case the situation calms down. But now with the situation starting
didn't want to do it.
slowly
So,
calming down, but it's just
Yeah.
not gonna happen.
I think players just need to like do their own individual training at home for now.
you see, like to see Maximum doing it on Twitter a lot of the time in his mansion.
And I'll be Ron with his lass.
Yeah. Jonathan Young says he thinking at some point in June, July time,
Yeah.
it's a possibility that it could come back at that time as well. So as I said, I've dropped the link in the description if you want to join in. We get some new faces on the channel at some point. So far, no one new has joined yet, but hopefully soon. Liam NUFC says Leighton Orient are selling season tickets for next season. In my opinion, that's a bad move for other Leighton Orient fans. Think the same as well. Yeah. Well, you can't really
I would say it's a bad move on Lincoln's. I know Leighton Orient are like the fan base and everything like that. I think they should wait till the situation of the news and plus the club, because at the moment they are selling the season tickets even next season. You don't know if next season is going to happen. But it's really bad what they've done. It's just end of the day they should hold and wait and see what the situation happening.
Yeah.
It is really bad move as well. It's just one of those things. It's just end of the day they're thinking too ahead. They just don't know what's happening. That's the problem. They're thinking too ahead. And I say to people, just don't think too ahead, because it's just really you just don't know what's happening. Because end of the day it's starting to go down a bit. They said they're past the peak, but you just gotta wait. You just gotta wait, because end of the day it's a waiting game. But end of the day we're just hoping when the situation calms down, then we'll be back to normality. But the problem is, it's just going to be a while before we might be soon normal.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Patrick Minikin, says, I think it would have to be games twice a week to create a gap between seasons. That is a possibility. I know the Championship, well, they do it anyway.
That's a possibility for me. I'd just say just keep the weekend games, like mid games. I love to see it back, but it's just going to be a bit of a, I don't know. It's just a battle, which seems fair, but it's just really the mid gap of 2 games. I don't know. It's just really, you just don't know. I would say just keep it weekends for now until if it's safe to do so, then they'll do that.
Possibility. So, yeah, but again, we're just got to wait and see, because we're still unsure of that if it is going to return yet, because the Premier League hasn't been given the green light so far by the government to see if they can resume at any moment of time.
No, they've not been looking into like the solution or anything like that, but they are determined. That's the saying. They're all together and they're determined to get this season, no matter what the situation and all that. But if I were them, I'll wait till the government decides because I think they're all going to be watching Thursday's balls, what he's going to do on Thursday, so they'll have a clear idea of what's going to happen.
Yeah. Definitely, yes. So I've dropped the link back in, so see if we do get the new people come in. I know Arthur said he would come in very, very soon. Same with Sharky as well.
Yeah.
So yeah. And hi. Yeah. No offense, Steve. Them questions you gave yesterday in the quiz. My God.
I know. The reason why I did those questions are for who's the strongest in the quiz and who's the weakest. And now I found out who's the strongest, who's the weakest. Then I know next time I'll put some tough questions on you, Lawrence, and then on you. And Peter, I might try and make it a bit easy for you so you can remember.
He's probably researched
I know.
everything about football from the early 90s, God knows till whatever.
I think you should start doing some research. Look at me. I got tons of books of history, and that's how I know things and all that. Because if you go read the books and plus DVDs and everything, that's how I know things in sports and everything like that. Everyone's shocked how you know that. I've been reading. That's what I've been.
Well, here's a comment from Liam
But
anyway.
it was really testing because I was trying to make it more fair as possible for all of you. It's just sometimes I don't think because I did put some stinger ones on there. And I think I didn't have a chance to look because I was writing the last of years of yours, and I just didn't check up or if I put some of the whole questions for you. And apparently I did, and I thought, wow. So I'll learn next time. Now, if I do host a quiz, I'll make it easy for you, and Lawrence, I'll make it a bit harder for you.
Just gonna read this comment from Liam in UFC, and he says, "Can you see lower league teams, including Sunderland, being in the same situation as Bury?" Again, it could happen. You could see non-league teams.
Yeah, I'd say that
they rely on like people for when they go to the games, when they pay the gate or the season tickets.
Yeah, Sunderland have had they had that news from before the pandemic. They had situations because they had some like the US. I think was a US business they wanted to take over. Then they had to pull out because they had some issues with what they agree on and what not to agree on. It's just one of the things like that, and it's just in the end the fan attendance in the Sunderland ground are very low. It's like the lowest you ever seen in life. And when someone say the makers that they haven't got much fans in that because when you're in the Premier League they used to have a pack full of fans, but then when you're down to League Two, that's when they have to make adjustments because then as I said at the start of the season that they're going to close off some of the grounds and some of the scene areas, and it was surreal because you didn't think 2 years ago when they were in the Premier League and then 2 years later they're in League One, and seeing the fans low like that is just unreal. And you know, look at Middlesbrough were Championship and they had one of the lowest they have ever seen in their history. Because look, if you to go back to when they were in the UEFA Champions League campaign and went all the way to the final, it was a packed out crowd. And now Middlesbrough now it's still a crowd, but it's not as it used to be. And they have been struggling this season under John Woodgate. And end of the day, his first managerial job that he's going to experience, and it's going to take time for him. And he is something different Middlesbrough hasn't done for a long time. I think not under the Claren. So it's going to take time, but with crowd attendance to that. But with the Burnley, I'm just when I heard Burnley were kicked out of the Football League and plus being dissolved, it's really sad and upset because Burnley have been in the Football League for a very long time, and it's just sad seeing it going like that. And not only Burnley, but Bolton were lucky that they survived just.
It's like if that happened to Sunderland,
so it's just really sad. And I do see.
It's like if that happened to Sunderland, I wouldn't laugh at them. I mean, like, because you think about it, you look at the bigger picture when you've got passionate fans attending games week in and week out to go and cheer on the team, and imagine they see that not be able to watch any football anymore. You would just fear for them.
Yeah, and the worst thing about it, if Sunderland do get dissolved and get kicked out of the Football or Premier League, that means Newcastle and Sunderland derby would never happen now because Sunderland could be somewhere in the 6th or 7th tier of football and build themselves back up and where they should be. Look at Rangers; they went start from Division 3 to go up to back to where they should be. So it could happen at any club because you never know. And I mean,
they shouldn't be in League One, definitely.
Aye.
And plus we miss the derbies. I love watching derbies and that.
He said, plus the Sunderland owners are broke. I knew Stuart Donnan knows he needs extra investment to get the club forward. At least
because at the end of the day, he is doing his best. Yeah, he is doing his best for what's best for Sunderland because he is trying to find investment for Sunderland so they can regenerate. And yeah, we do get jealous for like when they say
Stuart Donald, even though he doesn't have a
Mm.
great deal of massive amount of money, at least he communicates with the fans. You look at our communication, and it's probably only once or twice a season, and
Yeah.
just an absolute embarrassment.
Yep, that's the bad thing. Yeah, it is really embarrassing. I felt like saying because chairmans and owners supposed to give comments each week during the season and even at the end of the season, they should know what situation is happening because at the moment we're in the dark and we had no
Yeah.
communication for a very long time, and it's just
Yeah.
copy and paste like Peter says. It's really copy and paste. It's just
Yeah.
showing that. Even Shearer said in his comments that, "Oh, that's just the fucking same thing that happened last year."
Yeah.
But definitely. So as I say, I'm going to post the comment back in. I mean, the link back in to see if we get any new people first. But first things first, I need to go top up a drink because my throat's going to get dry if I continue on a bit of a conversation.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just chat amongst yourselves.
Yeah, we'll
Aye.
continue. We'll continue the
How the Premier League
conversation.
could come back as well. So just give me a moment, guys.
All right.
No, always take your time. You always did last time.
Aye.
I think the Premier League, I don't see the Premier League coming back because it is going to take a long time before it's safe to do so. Because then
Yeah.
I said from the start, like, it should be done and avoid because when this pandemic was really worse, I'm thinking about the safety of the players and staff and
Yeah.
managers as well. Because look
Yeah.
at Arteta, Tara had the virus, he survived just.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
And
break up.
there's also reports that the Chelsea midfielder, and also there's been reports that the 8 West Ham players. I was really surprised they had the symptoms, but they say it was corona or something like that. It was just beginning with nah. I think they should. I said to them, I said, none and avoid, because end of the day, it will save the players' lives, and not only that, because players have their wives and plus their kids.
Yeah.
What happens if they catch it as well from the police? So it's just really one of those things you just. It's just for the well-being, because I know fans want the Premier League back so bad. Plus, want to. It's like their downtime and all that. And for me, it is my downtime because I enjoy watching it. Plus, get passionate into it, and as well, it's just really hard for us because and they did. But the good thing about it, with the downtime, how football, we can look back on the classic games and all that. And it's a good thing what they're doing now. Like ITV's bringing like old classic games and all that, and it's amazing how what was then and now, even now, if our lifetime. So and then Newcastle put in a few YouTube videos, and I thought it was good. I thought, oh, they're bringing some classic back, but then all of a sudden they went a few weeks, I think now a month. So it just shows you. But look at it, Leicester brought back
when they
the
doing
title.
It.
I just watched the one when they beat Newcastle 3-1. It was amazing how Whitley Bay were back then. It just shows you like how they were. Maybe one day, if Whitley Bay do get back to where they should be, like the FA got like the 3 years in a row one, it's going to take time, because when I watched them when they got beat by, I think it was a new appointed Northern League side called Dunham, but the new promoted side just absolutely destroyed Whitley Bay, and I thought, wow, I never seen them getting beat so bad. I think the worst defeat was against Sunderland Raymond CW. Honestly, it was 6-0, and I thought, whoa, did I just see Whitley Bay get beaten so bad? But I do like to see Whitley Bay back to where they should be. Probably one day winning the FA Awards a few times. Do I see them winning the Northern League? I do see them winning it at some point in the future if they have the right players and plus manager, plus the new plus the ones behind the scenes have done fantastic. How they keep the entertaining and all that sort of thing. But hope it does happen. But look at South Shields; they're now starting to get better since they won the FA Awards. They're now getting promotion and plus getting where they are. Trying to stay around, and Chem has done fantastic, and plus the joint managers did unbelievable. I thought they're crazy doing that. But it worked out better for them, and plus maybe one day we'll see them in the Football League.
Aye. All right,
I'm back.
And welcome back, Peter.
Just to read a comment from Andrew in UFC, says lower league clubs could offer a live streaming service so that they could generate some money. I actually agree with that. Yeah, completely.
Yeah, I agree, because look at Whitley Bay. Whitley Bay's done the same, and look at that. They're bringing back some classic games. It's unbelievable. It's just like like we touched on, like with Lawrence. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think local clubs should do live stream. Look at North Shields; they sometimes record some games, and then I think they should bring back the classic games that they had. And plus,
I'll
North Shields should bring back the when they won the
I'll be 1
FA
second,
Pos.
lads.
Yeah, no problem, Lawrence.
No worries. No worries. And it should bring back, because at the end of the day, because if it's this pandemic and no football season's happening or anything like that, they should look back on the classic games. North Shields done the same. They bring back some click games and plus Newcastle. They need to bring some of the next minute. They just off being sent for a few weeks. And Whitley Bay, they've done like streaming games, and I think they should look at how Whitley Bay's done it, and they should think how we're going to keep the fans like keep watching it. But they have done it. I have watched it, and when they beat Newcastle United on the Newcastle reserves or the under 23s back then, but it was good. It was good entertaining to watch, and I think they should do. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was going to say, if this pandemic didn't happen, would any have gone to watch Blythe against the Newcastle under 23s?
I wouldn't have personally,
100%,
just traveling.
Yeah, 100%, definitely. I'll definitely, because I never seen the Blythe Spawns in Newcastle on Twitter. I did see some of the games. I've seen Morpeth in Newcastle.
Yeah.
I've seen
I
Issues was Morpeth. I've seen
the 23s player in Newcastle, Benfield.
I went to what?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen the one year before when they won the cup. So I've seen that one. That was a good game.
Hi. Oh, fortunately came to this, unfortunately. Hi.
Aye.
The under 23 leagues, they've been voided completely
Well,
now as well.
Well, to be fair,
I knew that was going to happen.
I knew that was
going to happen. Yeah.
Aye. If it's about development for players, then fair enough. You know, they're not as bothered about the results.
Yeah.
No, they're not really are. They just, end of the day, it's just the well-beings and then the safety and that. So it's just some things. But I knew that when I heard reports saying that they've been unavoided. I thought it's no surprise to me. It's just the way it is. But they've done well this season in the 23s, and the under 18s, they had a bit of an up and down because, and plus they're trying to change the system and all that sort of thing. But the under 23s have done really well this season, and rightly so. Yeah, they had a bit of a shaky start from the season, and they managed to get themselves back up, and they could possibly get to the playoffs again. But it's a learning. And let's hope that next season, the under 23s might go even higher and possibly probably win the title and plus go to the next division. I would love to see that. And the under 18s, I think they've still got some very young players, and plus it's going to take a long time before they'll get better.
Yeah.
I do see some new potential. I used to watch under 18s, but I'm not this season. But I am going to watch at some point this season if I can, like next season. But I'll see the day.
Also, women's football got avoided as well, and that was a good thing to go and enjoy and watch as well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was really good seeing the Newcastle United women, because I watched it 3 years ago, and I thought, oh, this is really good. The women have shown what they can do. They can play football, and also they show it. I was really impressed this season with Beth, she finished as top goal scorer, and I was a bit surprised. I thought Jessie Foster, well, the real number 9. That's how number 9 should do, score goals. She scored some goals, but surprisingly, Beth scored more goals this season than Jess did. But Jess did really well, amazing. And Megan McKenzie, she did brilliant in the wing, from the wide wing, and that was how she played and all that.
Yeah.
The skipper Brick was unbelievable in defence, great leader, show. And sadly, she got injured, and then that's when the squad started to not well under her. Cause I think she's more influence squad than she's
I remember
with the Newcastle women. And
I remember Paul going about the team missing Brooke.
As you were going to answer, sorry.
No. I've already said it. You know, Paul.
I thought they would, because they are trying something. Because when I watched the game against Barnsley,
didn't lose by a lot in that game.
As I was saying, when they played the first game, after Book got injured, they were trying to adapt something different to the game, but Barnsley at the time, Barnsley were like unbeaten, and plus they were
Yeah.
top of the league, and they were
Yeah.
trying. I've seen how they were trying. I thought they were trying something different, but it was not working better.
Aye.
But at least it's a learning curve. At least they're trying something
Yeah.
different to get it better. But I think
Yeah.
Becky as manager, I think she came into it. I thought she was gonna. It was gonna be a big challenge because when you face a big one, plus she's got some experience like elsewhere and that. And when she came into it, she's done a brilliant job so far, and I believe she is good at the thing. But for me, she'll work on it, and then once the season gets back, like next season, I think we're going to see that when Book gets back from an injury, and plus a few other players as well, then that's going to. I think I'll see the women like go far, and honestly, I enjoy watching it. Plus, the best highlight of the game was against Lombard Fox. That was a great game, honestly. I think the way they played against them when they were behind and come back, it was unbelievable. It was really, I thought, the way they should have finished it right before full time because we had chances and all that, and also the keeper pulled off a fantastic from just long range.
Yeah, you kind of thought we're not going to get the goal.
And the best thing about it, and the second goal came when the defense mistaken by the keeper of that was amazing. But the best about it was just golden. They just pulled off a game of their lives. That's the best thing they did.
Yeah.
And the best thing about it, Peter and Lawrence, the fans who asked us, "Oh, did you enjoy the game?" I said, "Yeah, we did." I said, "I hope you come back," and that's the good thing about it. At least they asked us to come back, and we did. We come back.
Aye.
At the end of the day, the women are part of Newcastle United. At the end of the day, Newcastle United doesn't matter who they are and what they are.
Aye.
Just going to read a couple more comments out, if you don't mind. Jonathan Young says, go on. He says, "Do you think the takeover will be announced this week?" I'm going to say it gets announced when it just gets announced.
I think George Court.
I don't expect this week.
We just gotta be patient. Whatever time we go away, it's nothing compared to the 13 years. But I think. But I know he said something on the Athletic tonight, saying it will get announced, but we've just gotta wait.
It's just there's been saying it's going to go through, and we're just going to wait. That's the main thing.
And with this situation, then it's going to take a bit longer.
Andrew Johnson just said yes. He's replying to Jonathan Young's comment, and we've got another one off Archer. He says, "Mr. Champions League's ready to join." Okay.
All right then. I'll see you guys.
Link in. So, who said the domain lead?
Talk to you again.
I'm going to
talk to you again on Sunday.
Okay. Aye. Lawrence.
Yeah. See you Sunday.
Aye.
Sorry, Sunday. Sorry.
So yes, looks like Mr. Archer could be ready to join very, very soon. Hopefully.
Has he shaved his beard? Because the last time I said, "I'll make myself look beautiful, beautiful."
Looks more like
I shave my beard off on the weekend.
Yeah, so anyway, Archer, let's get you in the live stream like you were in the last one. So, yeah. When's he gonna come?
He'd be ready. He'd be good. Oi, oi.
Yeah, you did last time on the previous live stream. Yeah.
People comment by there saying, "Why is you still on my catchphrase?"
Exactly. Yes. Well, just gonna check how many links I've got. So
just read the comments. Go ahead, how.
Well, no new comments have come in, and still waiting for Archer to come in. Whenever he does come in. I think he's ready. Ready? So, in 3, 2, 1. Bing.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
Oi, oi.
I'm all right. How you doing?
Yeah.
You still got your beard. I thought you would shave your beard next.
I'm keeping it.
You're keeping it this time.
Yeah.
Look at me. I shaved my beard off on the weekend.
We'll just quickly read more comments before we'll get Archer thought on what he thinks about on how to get the Premier League back and what could happen next. So Andrew John says they might not announce it straight away due to thousands celebrating a party, same as the one Liverpool the title. Yeah, that is a possibility. But I'm just saying it gets announced when it gets.
Yeah, that could happen.
So Jonathan Young says, "Oi, oi, Archer, the man, the myth, the legend."
Right. Yeah, Jonathan.
Yeah, you're known in that channel now. You're known in that channel.
I am well known now.
So Archer, what do you think about that? Will the season come back? And it looks like it will probably get behind closed doors. Or should they void the season completely? And if it does come back, what do you make that St. James's Park will not be one of the venues to play at if it does come back? So it looks like St. James's Park is finished for the rest of the season now.
I think it's best that it's obviously not going to be playing at St. James's Park, because of the predicament that everyone's in with this coronavirus situation. But obviously, it's all down to the Premier League. But for me, look at it, because if you look at France, right, they've just cancelled all cancelled the league, and they've basically given the title to PSG. Now they've done the same thing in Holland.
Yeah.
And they haven't really given the title to Ajax.
Yeah.
But for me,
yeah, because they've points to the level.
Because Ajax and AZ one level were points with each other.
Yeah, but I think they should basically give the title to Liverpool. But in a way,
you can't see anyone catching them, can you?
No, you can't even see anyone catching Liverpool at this point, because Liverpool's been on fire.
The only club that can catch them is Man City, but Man City's been struggling. That's the only thing. It's been struggling since they lost to Liverpool. So they have been.
But I think they just need to come to a decision what they're going to do. For me personally, it's all about health reasons. And so nine games in the Premier League, plus you've got the FA Cup quarter final against Man City.
The semi-final and then in the final. That's you have to get there.
It's so if they do decide to play behind closed doors, where things are going, it looks like that. I think it'd be all right, but then at the end of the day, it's going to mess up the it's gonna mess up the system, because you've got the transfer window.
Yeah.
And then obviously basically the season is supposed to be finishing this month, around about in the next few weeks. Plus then you've got the players who are out of contract. So then it means they've got to extend.
And the loanee players as well.
Yeah, the loanee players
because
well.
Reports that they're going to give them extended month, but we don't know as it's for sure. Yeah. If they do get an extended 2 months, or at least, then, and also the players and sometimes the managers have a week or 2 weeks on holiday, and then they come back for pre-season, they train, and plus they got pre-season games coming up between July through to beginning of August, and that's going to mess up really bad. because the season coming is like between mid August or set and towards the end of August, and then if the season does come back around September time, that's going to mess things up. So there's a possibility the new season from that could end between June, and that's going to mess up really badly as well, because the Euros is now put back to 2021, and that's going to mess up that Euros as well. So that's going to be let's say it's going to be really hard to say and more, but I think they have to shorten the season for the new season coming, so that it gives the Euros a chance to get preparation as well. So it's just one of those things you just don't know, because we'll see what happens, what the government says, and what they're going to do next. They got to do, and then from there on, we'll see when this plans out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Andrew Johnson's just said in the comments, it's a 25-point gap. It's not even close yet. They're absolutely miles ahead, Liverpool.
Yeah, they are. Like,
Yeah, it is. That's what I'm saying. Because why is my new club and a few other clubs saying that Liverpool don't deserve to win a title? But Harry, they got the biggest gap, and plus it's going to be the first time they win a league title for 30 years. They wait for a very long time to win it. They said if they win the title, they'll dedicate to the Hillsborough victims. So at the end of the day, Liverpool do deserve it, because they wait for a very long time to win the title, because it's just one of the things. But then they go on to next season, they will be defending it, and then let's see from there if Man City re-strengthen the squad and try and learn from this season they had, and then they will rebuild. And then they question Pep Guardiola, is his future in the balance, because they're saying, because at the end of the day, the owners want to see some success and all that. But at the end of the day, Pep Guardiola is arguably, I'll say, the best manager we've seen for a very long time, since Fergie. And he's going to be about Jurgen Klopp, and he's done, I think, Jurgen Klopp, can't pronounce his name, in the Liverpool manager. He's done an unbelievable job. I think he's bring the manager of Liverpool what they need, because at the end of the day, Liverpool one time used to win the league many times, and in European. Do I see him as the next greatest Liverpool manager? I think I'll see him, because he's now won the European Championship. That's the one thing that's been deluded for a long time, because he tried it with Borussia Dortmund, he came so close, and then winning it like last season with Liverpool is unbelievable. I do see him win more trophies. Do I see him winning more like Bill Shankly or Presley? I think I do believe he will, but league titles, if you can win like back-to-back league titles, it's a big ask, but it could happen. But will you keep the players like Mo Salah and Mane and Firmino and a few other players? That's going to be hard, because some of the clubs will be after him as well, because Mo Salah, he's been a more prolific goal scorer.
Go in the market, definitely.
Yeah, but Mo Salah, he's been a prolific goal scorer for Liverpool for a very long time. I think he's more better than what Ian Rush was back in the day. So it's going to be questions like, and plus there's been like reports about transfers, like Arsenal is going to try and get rid of some of the players and try and bring new ones. And there's other reports that few have been linked. There's been reports like if a takeover does happen, Coutinho's been linked, because the former Liverpool player, he's been linked, and Cannavaro, the player I describe him, because when he was at Napoli and PSG, he's unbelievable. He's a lethal force. Do I see him in the NFC? We could give him a chance, because at the end of the day, if he's still got it at his 30s, then he's still got it. Look at Zan, he's still got it at his 30s, so why not? And the day, give him a chance. There's also other players being linked, and it's crazy enough. There's like Messi's, Ronaldo's. Yeah, it's just, and there's reports that Mbappe, that PSG striker, the youngest French player, I would say he's been linked as well. I would love it. He came in Newcastle, because Harry, he's a prolific goal scorer, and plus how he did in the ball was unbelievable.
Kylian Mbappe.
And yeah,
I wouldn't mind having him. You'd take one of the Champions League straight
away.
away.
I was going to say, go back to Man City. Apparently, Kevin De Bruyne's future is probably up in the air as well.
Yeah. Also, Aguero's...
he's been unbelievable for Man City. De Bruyne, yeah, he has a few injury issues from the season, but he can get back where he should be. But he even said like from the pandemic, he says he's now extending his career a bit more because with this pandemic, so we could see him a bit more often now. So
I think Aguero's future is up in the air as well.
I heard reports about that, Aguero, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's been unbelievable for Man City, and plus he's still scoring as long as he's still scoring goals. That's the main thing. Plus, there's a slight possibility he might surpass Sancho if he's offered an extended contract with Man City. That's if it does happen. So, but we'll just have to wait and see, and just hope that when this pandemic's over, then we'll find out the scenario of the transfer rumors, the takeover, and everything above.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen when the season's going to start. So that's the only thing that's going to be the question of.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to read some more comments out. Geordie, he says, still mathematically, title race is still on, possibly, but I just can't see anyone catching Liverpool.
Yeah, that's the only thing. The title race is still on, and it's still on.
That's only if Liverpool ever lose their remaining games and Man City can catch up, but that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. They came close being invincibles like Arsenal, but when Watford defeated, I thought, wow. But Watford did deserve to win that game against Liverpool. It's just unbelievable how they lost that game. But
yeah,
well, I'll just see what happens. At the end of the day, if Liverpool do slip up like at the end, because in the past they did when they were trying to battle for the title, and then they slipped.
Yeah. Jonathan Young says it's going to be interesting what the clubs decide to do with the season ticket refunds for the remaining games this season. Surely a partial refund is most definitely, because so far if it is going to come by this be behind closed doors, then yeah, fair enough. Unless Mike Ashley, well, now what a greedy fat pig he is.
Oh yes, like
he probably wouldn't want to do that.
I despised him for 12 years.
Geordie says every man and his dog has been linked to Newcastle. Hi, so far without being readed.
Yeah, it has been. That's what I've been getting from Facebook posts and everything like that. There has been links, and I was like thinking to myself, I'm trying to itch my head because at the end of the day, we just don't know at the moment because the takeover looks like it's inevitable, but I'm not my hopes up. And also with big players linking up, that's going to be unreal because that's unheard of because we never had best players for a very long time since the Entertainers. But it's amazing, but it's really, I want to see the next big thing, the next players. That's what I want to say. Yeah, the big players, they made their names, but I want to see like up and coming players to make a name themselves as well in the Premier League and beyond. It's just like, you just don't know what to expect. It's just sometimes when you see a player, you think he's going to be the next big thing, but you just don't know it. When you see them play, you think they are going to be the next big thing. But we have been links, and plus, for me, I want to see if we can produce young players. That's what I want to see in Newcastle. Produce some of the players that could be the next thing. So far, we've got a long staff, so we are on the right track at the moment, but it's still going to be a long road before we're going to produce homegrown British players.
Yeah,
exactly. Andrew Johnson said, silly question, but maybe. But what about the pitches? Don't they get dug up and regrown at the end of the season? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think they do. I think they do change the grass.
Yeah, they do, because at the end of the day, when the season's over, they redo it. Because if you've seen Northern leagues, they redo the field like non-stop and anything like that. And yeah, they should do, because at the end of the day, when you finish the season, you got to get it in top condition and put some new field as well. So yeah, the question they say he said it. Yeah, it should do, because at the end of the day, when you finish the season, you got to make it. Because what happens if you leave and next minute it's all ripped apart and anything like that? It has to be.
Jonathan Young, he says, we definitely need a striker for next season. Joe Linton has been utter garbage. No effort shown, no passion. 100% agree. I mean, £40 million spent.
I agree on that. Me and Archer watched him. We watched him. I watched him really close, and he's not showing more passion that I've seen. He has 1 or 2 games. Yeah, he's showing it, but it's
game and then playing a few games. Definitely not. No.
Yeah, me and Archer watched it. We've seen the whole thing, and we know what you're on about.
He is the worst.
For me, I was a bit. From the start of
think
it, I was defending because in the day, just give him a chance, and now I'm just lost patience with him.
I don't know who's worse. You've got Joe Linton, you've got Riviere, and you've got Hosselu. Combine the three together.
Don't get me started with Riviere was a crappiest player
at this moment of time. Jesus Christ. Sayers Riviere took him till the second last game of the season for him to score his first goal in the Premier League. Oh my
Against
God.
QPR when we got beat.
Yeah.
No. Oh God, I don't want to know about it. But don't get me started with Riviere because Riviere is one of the most worst players I've ever seen on the field. I don't know. He did deserve to wear the black and white shirt.
For Monaco, Hosselu only spent 5 million from Stoke, and Joe Lynn was spent 40 million from Hoffenheim.
I know.
Yeah, Andrew NUFC.
To be honest, Hoffenheim do have the best player. Yeah.
Andrew NUFC says, if you could sign one of these, Coutinho, Grealish, Van der Beek. If I had to pick one, I would go for Coutinho.
That's a tough one because Bambini has been unbelievable for Ajax, and so is Coutinho. Coutinho has not been featured for Barcelona this season, like of late, and there's been reports, and plus he's been on loan to Bayern Munich. So, and Griezmann, he's been unbelievable for Aston Villa this season, but he's now on the media
Coutinho
for the wrong reasons. I would say that I agree for both of you, Coutinho, because Griezmann, he's still got a lot to learn because he's in the right path. Because he's in the media for the wrong reasons during this lockdown.
Okay, well, Lawrence
but at
Taylor,
least he apologized for it. That's a good thing.
Lawrence Taylor says Andrew Johnson, replying Andrew Johnson says that'll probably happen when the groundsman get permission. Definitely do so. Right, looks like we're going to get another person in. So Dean, do you mind?
Yeah,
I wonder who that'll be.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah.
Okay, then see you later, Dean.
Yeah, don't worry who would that be. I enjoyed it. Take it easy. Bye. Bye.
And we'll get, I think you know who it'll be. He's also another Newcastle YouTuber. So we'll get him in 3,
Shocky.
2, 1. Yes, Archer just said it. How are you doing?
Hello, Shocky.
Good evening, lads. How's it all going? Good evening, subscribers. Good evening, the world. How's it all going?
Yeah, all good. Thanks on yourself.
I'm all right. I've just been cutting the garden today, just getting those bushes cut down, as it's the same old routine, isn't it?
Yeah, so far it is, isn't it?
I've just recorded a video that was earlier on today, but that's going to be edited up tomorrow. So I've got a bit of editing to do. So yeah,
look forward to seeing that. I'll just read this comment. What Andrew and UFC say, yes, he agreed with Coutinho. I think he is still a quality player. So Shocky, since you've just joined in, what do you think about that if the Premier League was to come back? Will it be behind closed doors? A lot of people think yes, it will be, but when do we think will it come back? That is the question, because there's been no green light off the government yet so far to say that football can come back at this moment of time.
I think it'll be cancelled. I don't think there'll be null and void. I think they'll go down the French and the Dutch route. Unfortunately, if they kind of get to some sort of answer, if it's getting to the point where more people are still dying and it's not safe to get people out, that you've got people, who just don't want to go out for their own safety. You got footballers like Sergio Aguero coming out saying they're scared. Players don't really want to train, which is fair enough. The way I look at it is basically cancel it. Do what the French League did. Just give Liverpool the title because they're 25 points clear. The same with PSG. Don't give anybody the Champions League or Europa League spots because if that's the case, the French League, they aren't getting their European spots either. I think you wait for next season. I think they need to financially they need to take a hit and have no Champions League and Europa League next season because it wouldn't be fair on those in 5th or 6th or 7th because they could potentially get Champions League. So you can't just give the Champions League spots or Europa League spots to those clubs in their current positions because that could change. Nobody gets relegated because again, Aston Villa have got a game in hand. Bournemouth could still get out the relegation zone. West Ham could be dumped into it. So you keep those in the Premier League. You also then add West Brom in Leeds into the Premier League on merit because for me, points per game, not only that, but they've been the two most consistent clubs in the Championship if you've watched them play. Fulham, for me, have never looked like being in the automatic spots. As for Fulham, I don't think they've been any better than the current sides in the playoffs. I think Fulham, if they were to go on a poor run, they could be outside of the playoffs. But I think Leeds and West Brom are nailed ones. As for the playoff teams, I think for me, they should be given compensation by the Football League of some sort, just to say, unfortunately, but we can't let you in. We're going to let Leeds and West Brom come up on merit. And then next season for the Premier League, there's going to be a 22 club system. And then that means 5 clubs will get relegated, meaning it would then balance it out for the end of next season. So what would happen is 5 would go down, 3 would come up from the Championship, which means then for the 2021-2022 season, it'll go back to 20 again, because you've got to try and get it back to what it was to make it fair. And then nobody will get relegated from the Championship. Nobody will get promoted from League One. It'll just be down to compensation. And then because let's be honest, the money between the Premier League and the Premier League and the Championship's huge. Between the Championship and League One, it's pennies, really. Do you know what I mean? Everybody wants to be, the top end of the Championship into the Premier League. So for me, I think the Premier League need to grow a pair of balls and just say, right, it's done. We need to focus on next season now. We need to try and get that back on track. We need to try and see if we can get a summer window going for a start, because when is the summer window going to start? Because if the season was to start back in June or July, there's no guarantee that that's going to happen. So I think the Premier League and the AFL, they need to look at it wisely. I mean, if they're saying play it behind closed doors, fair enough. But what I don't agree with, why play at neutral grounds? Like, that's just defeating the object of social distance. And actually, playing it behind closed doors in general shouldn't be allowed, because they're saying fans can't turn up, right? Yeah. Why are the players allowed in the same dressing room? Because they have to have the discussion. Yeah. Also, I know this is a bit of a long one for you, but the way I look at it is with the Premier League, yes, it is money, but health and safety is the most important thing in this situation. And also, I don't understand why they want to play at neutral grounds. Why would Newcastle want to play our next Premier League match against Sheffield United down at Burnley or a Leicester or anywhere like that? For a start, why would we want to go all the way down there for a match? And the thing is, how do you know that the passionate Newcastle fan might not make that journey all the way down just to stand outside the ground, just to want to know what's going on? How do you know? Because our fans are so passionate, they'll make that 5-6 hour journey. But the thing is, as well, it's an idea of, like, what I don't understand is they've chosen, is it 8 venues?
Yeah, I can't remember how many.
Why? For one, why is Newcastle not being selected? Is there some sort of north or south divide? So yeah, sorry, but that was a bit of a rant. But there we go.
Exactly. Yes. I mean, the voice.
Thing is up, Peter. Thing is, sorry, mate. The thing is, not sorry to interrupt, but football's nothing about the fans. The way I look at it, I think if you're going to play the Premier League, the Premier League and the AFL, yes, you've got to feel sorry for the League One, League Two sides. But if you're going to, I think the Premier League have got to donate some money to the Championship, League One, League Two sides, non-league, just to keep them afloat. If there's no football, for the rest, if it's play behind closed doors, do that. Donate some money to them to help them out. The Premier League clubs and certain Championship clubs, like a Fulham who got relegated in Huddersfield, they won't need it. They've got parachute payments. But the thing is, there's no advantage, man. If you're like a Burnley or a Bournemouth and you rely on your home, you're relying on your home fans who don't get much. It's just the case is if fans can't go to the games, right? Then I think the Premier League, the AFL, each club, they need to refund their fans in full, because otherwise, if they don't, it's classed as fraud to the highest degree, because you're talking hundreds of quid.
Exactly. Yes. I mean, would you be surprised if Mike Ashley was still taking money off fans at this?
He already has. He's already done it. He's taken the season ticket money for next season. When, let's be honest with you, we're in a current pandemic. We don't know when this season's going to recommence. We don't know when it's going to come to its conclusion, and we also don't know when the new season's going to start. People are saying September, October. It's all pure speculation the way I look at it. But the point is, for me, if it is to the point where there's 5 games left, they say 5 home games, and say Newcastle fans can't go, then for me, the Newcastle need to give the money back, and that needs to be reimbursed, because they're very quick to take it off the fans. But also, if they don't give it back, then for me, like I say, it's fraud to the highest degree, because you're talking maybe £30-35 a game. That's a head if you're an adult, depending on the club you're playing. You know what I mean? So that's my opinion on the whole situation anyway.
Exactly, yes. Well, Lawrence said, Shock, he said, what's the video about that you plan to bring out?
Well, you know what that's called? You will wait and see.
Dean again says, enjoyed talk to you and I had fun, and I agree, Shocky. Yeah, cheers, man. for coming in the live stream. And
by the way, when I say cancel, just do what the French league did. Don't give Liverpool a title because listen, they're 25 points clear. Nobody's going to catch them. They're going to win. They're going to win one more game, and Man City's going to get a draw somewhere. I mean, the way they've been playing this season, for me, they're deserved winners. But for the relegation zone, that could change at any point. I know, fair enough, West 7 points away, clear of it. But what's not to know, we couldn't go on a really dodgy run, and then someone was to be caught. You know what I mean? With 9 games to go, that's possible. Like, thing is, with Leeds and West Brom, if they don't get their promotions, you've got to feel sorry for them both because Leeds, 17 years away from the Prem, big club, Leeds, 17 years away from the Prem, and West Brom, they've both, been on good runs this season. So that's like Newcastle being in the Championship and we've been denied a promotion. We would say the same.
Well, like 13th, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, listen, I mean, we're a mid-table, mediocre club. We're not. For me, we're not sounding too big-headed. We're not getting relegated, are we? We're going to win a couple of games somewhere. Yeah. We've got winnable games. Like Sheffield United are a good side, don't get us wrong, but at St James's Park, they're beatable. We'll beat them down in Bramall Lane. And then who else? We've got the likes of Watford away. Listen, we're going to get points. You know what I mean? We'll get 40 points.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, Geordie says you have to question that fans will still turn up to the stadiums because neutrals probably turn up to matches on their doorstep for the fun of it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if, playing it behind closed doors, right, and fair enough, I understand where they're coming from. They want to get the games played, but that's the thing. Like, fans of Newcastle or any club, they're going to turn up, they're going to stand outside the ground, right? And yes, they talk about a police presence, but the thing is, how many police can the government employ? It's going to cost money. Do you know what I mean? Exactly. Like, the police they can't just be at the stadium. They've got to be here, there, and everywhere. But the way I look at it is, the thing is with neutral grounds as well. Like, do you really think Steve Bruce and the lads want to go like all the way down to Brighton to have Newcastle versus Sheffield United? Like, it's just right.
Exactly.
That's a long
Brighton was one of the stadiums as well.
Was it? That was just a guess. And the thing is, if you put it this way, right, in terms of, I know Newcastle's not one of the venues, but if it's Newcastle, Brighton, Southampton, and Bournemouth, we've all got to travel the furthest.
Yes, we definitely do have. I know there's the 2 Manchester clubs that were mentioned.
But they're like smack bang in the middle, though. Like, you got Leicester, that they're all like sort of smack. You know what I mean? They're within distance, but like, you look at us. Do you really think we want to be making 400-500, round trips when we're meant to be at home? Listen, we've got to do that for the full season. It's a nightmare as it is. But the case of, for the sake of the few games, I think if they're going to play behind closed doors, we'll play at the grounds we're supposed to play at. Whoever idea it was to play at neutral grounds, I just think it's silly.
Exactly.
By the way, if Newcastle were to go and play Sheffield United, right, or next home fixture, if that was to be it Man United, for example, right, what's not to say that Man United fans aren't going to want to know what's going on between Newcastle and Sheffield United? They might stand outside the ground to get autographs and that. The Premier League don't look at all of this stuff, the health and safety. I don't get that part.
Well, I was actually saying with this was with Lawrence and Dean, that apparently the Bundesliga was supposed to come back soon, but that's now gone into jeopardy because former Chelsea player Salomon Kalou has apparently broke the lockdown rules, and apparently 10 people have apparently tested positive for coronavirus as well.
Wow.
All right. I did actually read about that, but I didn't know that it was... I knew it was coming back. But then again, even that was a bit sketchy because I was reading about Schalke. Apparently, they've got separate dressing rooms. I mean, since when did Schalke have like 11 or 12 different I thought there was only 2 in a club. But do you know what I mean? I don't know. I think it's the way the Premier League is going to run. They're going to see how the Bundesliga go about their business because they're the first. And then I think La Liga, I think Portuguese Liga NOS, they obviously went back and run as well. But what are you saying? The Bundesliga is now back off again?
Well, it's in jeopardy at the minute. I haven't said it's back off for definitely.
It's brave. It's brave what they're doing. But I can understand why they want to do it, the big leagues. But listen, I think if you're going to... The thing is, the Premier League, they've already taken a hit anyway. They're already losing money from the last month alone. I just think the way I look at it is, and it's a harsh thing to do, is literally just cancel the full season and give out rewards where it needs to be given. And the thing is, yes, everyone's going to be in uproar. But the thing is, you can't please everybody. Yes, okay. That's all good, me saying that, because we are a mid-table club. We're not really going anywhere. But you'll have like Liverpool. For me, I've said give Liverpool the title. I'm not jealous or nothing like that. They deserve it on merit. They've worked hard for it. All I'm saying is, and this sounds really harsh to say, but how can the top 4 or the current top 7 be given Champions League and Europa League spots when that could change at any point? You wait for when you go into the new season, right, it should be a case of you start all over again with a 22 club system, right, and all you're battling for is the League Cup and the FA Cup, and then everybody in all the respective leagues in all the different countries like Germany, France, Spain, they've all got to re-qualify for the Champions League and Europa League. I don't think in any country, because in France they haven't given out the Europa League or Champions League, have they?
No.
So the thing is, how can you give us the Champions League in England? How can you give certain clubs Champions League in Europa League, but like the likes of the French clubs haven't got theirs? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't add up. So the thing is, what I'm saying is, the French league's off until September, so that's completely gone, right? So they don't know what's the clubs who are currently in their positions. That wouldn't be right to give them the Champions League and Europa League spots, because how do you know that might not have changed? Same with the Premier League. So I can't see any Champions League or Europa League next season. I really can't.
Well, Jonathan Young he said this is very interesting. He says, the only issue I have is we don't know when it will be deemed safe enough to have full stadiums again. Some countries have banned mass gatherings until September, apparently.
Well, there was talk, obviously, that apparently next season, well, whether it's true or not, the saying is going to be no fans allowed in for the whole of that season as well. I mean, imagine going, a full, what is it, a 10 month system of the season. I forgot, I mean, August. Yeah, anyway, imagine going out that long. Imagine they going a full year without like football. Do you know if say we go the whole of next season, right, on lockdown, like for fans not, well, say we're not on lockdown, but say fans are not allowed to go for next season as well on top. We started keeping away from games from about March. Is that right? That March was the latest game. I think the start of March was the last sort of game. Yeah. That's like 1 year and 2 months that we've missed a football, because the season ends in May, doesn't it?
Yeah.
March to March is 1 year. Then you add an extra month, which is April and May. That's 40 months. If fans not be actually, that's longer as well, because you've got the summer as well. So you've got like June and July, and you don't tend to, unless you go to pre-season. For me, you're talking 15 months. 15 months for going to a game.
I think it's supposed to be like next week. That the season would have actually ended.
Yeah, it was Saturday, because I watch Takes TV. He said it would have been their last game of the season. It would have been at Griffin Park. It would have been the last game ever at Griffin Park. If you know Griffin Park, it's Brentford. That would have been their last ever game at their stadium before they move into the new one. And who would have knows? Brentford could have been a Premier League club. Strange things happen in the Championship. So,
Lawrence just said, he said, problem would be us still having to play Bournemouth, West Ham, Watford, Spurs, and Brighton High.
Yeah, no, like we'll play them. If they're saying play behind closed doors, right, we can still travel all the way down to Bournemouth. It just means there's no fans, unfortunately. That's just the way it is. What I'm not happy about is the fact that we've got to play at neutral grounds. I just don't think that's fair on the players. Like, yeah, okay, they're getting paid millions, but the point is, whether it's no advantage or not, like, it's a bit dodgy playing like Newcastle versus Sheffield United at like Chelsea's ground or Man United's ground when it should be at the ground it's at. It just means if it's just play behind closed doors, there's no fans, nobody's got an advantage at the end of the day. You know what I mean? You just play to the whistle.
Yeah.
I just don't agree. That's just my opinion. Yes, I know fans want football back, but imagine watching Match of the Day, right? And Gary Lineker like announces it. It's going to be bad enough that there's going to be no fans there, but they're like, oh, so the next game up is Newcastle versus Sheffield United at the Vitality Stadium. It just wouldn't feel right, would it? Like, imagine the everyday fan who didn't really follow the Premier League that much. Like, why are Newcastle playing at the Vitality Stadium, the home of Bournemouth, against Sheffield United?
I know, that's some crazy, isn't it?
Spurs at Old Trafford in the 99 FA Cup semi-final.
The thing is, back then you can understand, but like when it comes to actual league games, it's got to be played at your home. I just think at the end of the day, right, those clubs have to make their respective journeys to the away games. So say Sheffield United, they've got to make their journey to our ground because that's where it's at. The difference is there's no fans. You know, if they're talking health and safety, play behind closed doors, but don't be like causing more bother by taking Newcastle all the way down to like Sheffield if we're playing against like Watford or something. It doesn't add up. Exactly.
Well, what Geordie said, he said the Premier League aren't bothered about anything but money. Yeah, very true. Absolutely.
He's right.
Yeah, Andrew John says the death cases in Germany is nowhere near as bad as the UK.
Yeah, I think last time I checked, they were only on like 5,000. Still, at the end of the day, that's still 5,000 people.
5,000
Spain's worse, aren't they?
No, we're above them now.
Well, we're above Spain.
I think we are now, yeah. and above Italy. I think we're now I think it's the USA on about 50,000 deaths, and I think we're on like 28. I think we're above them now. I could be wrong, but we're nigh on par with Italy and Spain. But to be honest with you, that's nothing to be like figured. That's ridiculous. Like, you know what I mean? But anyway, I'm not yet to be political. I don't like want to bring it. The government had their decision and they didn't do it. So
yeah. Geordie says, to be honest, I'm not bothered how the season is finished, as I will happily take 13 over catching the coronavirus from being in a mass gathering. Yeah, that's
that's the thing. Like, the thing is, and it sounds harsh to say, but are you really that bothered about the FA Cup? I mean, are we really good? Thing is, are you bothered? I mean, the thing is, right? Yes, we've done well for the first time in 14 years. I get that, and I'd love to see Newcastle win the FA Cup, but like, on a scale of 1 to 10, with the clubs left in it, or we're actually going to win it, we've got to be realistic. Look at our run. Look at our run that we've had to the quarterfinal. And we've had Rochdale, Oxford. We struggled against them twice. And then fair play, we've done it against West Brom, but like even against West Brom, we nearly got dumped out because they actually nearly got back into the game.
Yes, exactly.
If it wasn't for that 3-0 lead, but the point is, Man City, yes, fair enough, we can beat them. We can beat anybody at home. But like, if they were to beat it's Manchester City, then obviously if we get through at Wembley, we could be playing like an Arsenal, another tough side. You know what I mean? They've beaten us twice this season, so
yeah, they have.
Don't get us wrong. Obviously, it's anybody's cup; anybody can win it. But like, if it was between cancelling the season, right, and we could maybe get the football back in the summer, things calm down. If we can get the new season up and running with a 22 club system, then I'd be all for it.
Yeah. What Lawrence just said, he said, we are above Spain. We're only above Italy because we started counting care home and community deaths last week.
Well, that's part of it. Well, there should have been anyway. They should have done it from the start. You've got to be honest with all these deaths. It's people's lives, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I'll see me be fortunate with them all. It's not a nice, it's not a nice situation to be in.
Exactly. Yes. Lawrence also said, typical if the FA Cup has to be cancelled, but we will get more opportunities like this when we got taken over.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm being arrogant, but if we get a takeover, we'll have some better players. And I'm not just suggesting they're going to come in and buy like the world. They're not going to buy titles. I think I'm not deluded to think we're going to stop buying the league and that. I think we'll go step by step. But like with better players, we'll have a better opportunity of actually doing well in the League Cup and the FA Cup. Which then, if you never know, if you win that, even if we don't finish in those top 7 places, if you win one of those cups, you're in the Europa League.
Yeah,
definitely. Yes.
That's the prize. That's the prize if you take the cup competition seriously. But in our situation, it's been let's get dumped out in the 3rd or 4th round as quick as possible and just stay in the Premier League. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Good thing with Steve Bruce, he's decided to take this seriously, which is the good thing.
No, I'd give him credit for it because he's a cup manager. Like he knows exactly what he's doing. You know what I mean? He's done it in every club he's been at. The thing is, I was saying this to you the other week. Imagine the manager who we didn't really want. What is our first FA Cup in 50 years? Our first major domestic trophy in so long. Before he leaves, let's say he got given the last 9 games and the season did recommence behind closed doors. It'll be odd though seeing the thing is if the games are played behind closed doors and Newcastle made it to Wembley either in the semis or the final, there's going to be no fans. It's going to be mad.
Right, that's like.
It's like we're just lifting it. I mean, they're going to lift it, but like, do you know what it is? All right, that would be a nice way for Bruce to bow out. If we've got to take over and Bruce won the FA Cup, like do you know what would be even better as well for Bruce? The fact he's a local manager's actually won it as well, like we're first domestic.
Yeah.
So,
Geordie's. For Andrew and UFC first, he says, I will have more cup runs after the takeover, hopefully, because I think
we'll have to. Like, if it take over, I think we're not like I keep saying, we're not demanding the world. We demand a team that tries. Yeah. Let's give it a go in the cups. Like, I don't believe in this. Like, but the fixtures are piled up, and the thing is, he's get paid absolutely millions. Like, that's what he's supposed to do. Give the fans something to shout about.
Definitely, yes. Geordie, he says, Grealish or Maddison.
I'm
Maddison.
Yeah, Maddison.
I was going to say, if you said Jack Grealish, Maddison for me straight away. Do you see his worldies for St James's? This season, his worldie for that was a brilliant goal from outside the box. Fantastic. Brilliant. He ripped us a new Arsenal that day, didn't he? When we got absolutely battered.
Yeah.
That wasn't not the one at the King Power because he didn't play that. By the way, if Maddison actually played at the King Power, we would have lost that game 8 or 9-0. No offense.
Aye.
Because that was the most embarrassing thing
He's
about
a
that Leicester
playmaker.
game.
He's like a playmaker for Leicester, isn't he?
Him and Tielemans, he makes them tick. Obviously, they've got Ndidi as well. Vardy's got a bit of pace about him. Leicester, they've got Pereira as well. For me, I think Pereira is probably one of the best right backs in the league.
Oh, he's brilliant. Andrew John said, "Do we prefer Grealish?" Fair point. Everyone's got in it.
Problem is with Grealish, he's just one of them where you just don't know. You don't know what his attitude is. Like if he's gonna, do you know what I mean? Adam Nice is Villa as well. Like Villa,
long. Grealish, definitely not.
They get relegated. He's gone anyway.
Lawrence says, if we won the FA Cup, we should celebrate with fans when it's safe. Same with Liverpool with the Premier League title. Yeah, 100% agree.
They will anyway. I think you've got to be patient. I think this is the thing, and the problem with a lot of fans at the minute when they take over, like, I'm giving up and all that. Obviously, fans have got different opinions, but like, how do you know that a takeover's not going through because the government, are saying we don't want you to announce anything just yet because the Newcastle fans might start running to the ground and start celebrating. For me that right is that's against the law because at the minute you can't mass gather, it's banned. And if our fans get caught doing that, they say right, ban, season tickets cancelled, gone. And thing is, I'd rather only celebrate at the stadium if it's safe to do so. If they say right, you can go out and do the celebrations. Otherwise, it's hashtag cans in me living room until I'll celebrate. I'll celebrate as a loner.
Aye. Lawrence also said Maddison also got a good free kick at Sir James Park when we're playing him in the cup.
That's what I'm saying. Not just in the league game, but in the cup game. For me, I remember Maddison when he played for Norwich. He was fantastic. That's when Leicester came in from. I always rated him in the Championship for Norwich. I thought we should go in for this lad. But when Leicester got him, I thought
how much did they get him? How much did they get him for?
But 10 million.
10 million.
For me, one of the best up and coming midfielders in the Premier League. Sorry.
I would have snapped him for 15.
You know who he reminds me of? Aaron Ramsey when he's playing, when he's not injured. Now Ramsey for Arsenal. Quality player, he's a good player. I think Maddison was always the one to watch out for. Do you remember that young lad? Against Fulham, Sessegnon, when he got there? Young lad, he was only like 16.
Oh,
he got I was at the game. He scored two. He scored 2 goals. He would have been the youngest kid to have ever scored a hat trick ever. And do you remember when Fulham got that penalty and that centre back came up and he missed? Sessegnon, he should have went for that. He should have been given it.
Yes.
He outplayed that 16-year-old kid. He outplayed us that day. But for me, he's got similar attributes to Maddison. I think he's another one who, he's been a bit lost in the last couple of seasons, but he's definitely one I reckon I'd take at Newcastle. So,
Jordy says hashtag cans. Hopefully,
that's what I'm saying. I'll celebrate on my own. I'll sing on my own. I'll sing on.
Lawrence says Paddy 22 million. Maddison went to Leicester.
Was that what it was? Oh no, unless I'm thinking of somebody else. Then still 22 million is still. You'll go for a lot more than that now. Easily 60, 70 million. Easy.
Yeah, yes.
Definitely. Easy. That's me guessing, but easy.
Yeah, absolutely. Andrew in UFC, he says, I rate Harvey Barnes as well. Different type of player to Maddison, but he's promising as well.
I love Harvey Barnes.
Ex-West Brom player as well. Harvey Barnes, good player. He done really well at this is why I kind of felt a bit sorry for West Brom because he played with them last season on loan when Dwight Gale was playing. Dwight Gale scored all them goals last season and they just missed out. They just went to the playoffs in the end. But Harvey Barnes, they cut his loan deal short last January when West Brom were flying. I reckon if Harvey Barnes was allowed to stay at West Brom until the end of last season, for me, I went West Brom would have come up.
Yeah.
Easy. But for me, he was on fire.
Hi. Geordie says Luke Matheson is another one for the future.
Problem is he's just made his move to Wolves.
He has. He just signed in January, didn't he?
But the thing is, he's got what's happened is they've sent him back to Rochdale to give him his experience to continue his development, which I think is the right thing to do. They're not just gonna hire him straight into the first team when he's only he only 18 or something like that. He's world against Man United. But the thing is, you don't want to dent his confidence straight away. You want him to keep growing with Rochdale and then maybe next season get him into the side. But even again, if they keep him at Rochdale, I think it's important at that age just to keep development as a player. And then when they believe think he's ready, they might then cut his deal at Rochdale and say, right, we'll get you back and we'll see what you're about. They'll ease him in. Like, for me, I don't think he'll go on straight away. I think maybe in a season's time, not this season coming, but the following one for the 2021-22 season, I think they'll start playing in like the Carabao Cup, the League Cup. That's how they seem to do it. They get them in a bit like Foden for Man City. For me, he's one of the hottest prospects, or one of our upcoming English players.
Yeah, Lawrence says again, kind of forgot the pass. I think he means missed a pen on the day, probably because it was all over by then. It was a miserable wet day, plus it wasn't in my end. He's on about the Newcastle Fulham game back in the Championship in March.
Oh, yeah, I was in the Gallagher game. To be honest with you, I thought Fulham out played, but that day, I mean, I probably had them straight away.
I don't think I was there.
I was actually there. I think I was actually level 7 that game, actually. Wow.
I remember because we went into the game, we was top, Fulham was 7th, and if they won the game, they went to 3rd, so they jumped up a few places. They were just outside the playoffs, but I knew that they had a very good, squad, and I knew they were going to be a danger on the day, and it was up to us to, get at them. But unfortunately, I thought Fulham were by far the better side, and I thought the scored some really. Their build-up play was fantastic. The thing is, we got absolutely humiliated at home. That's probably the worst I think I've seen we play at home.
Oh, that was definitely one of the worst.
Do you know what you say? Do you know what you say? Just a match to forget.
I lie, Lawrence meant to miss them. Dean says I will not go to an UFC game until it's safe to do so. Well, other fans will be saying the same as well.
Yeah, like it's not about money at the end of the day. It's about everybody's health and safety. It's not just about us, the fans. It's about the managers, the coaches, the players. Yeah. And the thing is, you got to remember as well, like nobody can really come to a decision. Obviously, Premier League clubs want to get the games played. You can see why each club want the money, don't they? But like, it's going to get to the point now where if this is still going on in June, they're just going to basically say, right, cancelled, and we'll give Liverpool the title. Look what they've done in France. They just give it a PSG because what were they? 12 points clear. Liverpool at 25. 25.
Exactly. Well, but with the Dutch league, they didn't have the title at Ajax because them and AZ won level points, so they decided not to give that.
That makes sense, but that's the same with them, and the same with the French league. They haven't been given Europa League or Champions League spots as well. So like that's why I think next season I don't think there'll be any Champions League or Europa League football. I think you'll have to qualify again. I think what they'll do is everybody will be given their position, but like, how do you not know that Sheffield United may not have went on a silly run and gone to like 3rd place or something? You don't know. It's all guessing game, isn't it? Like, how do you know that Southampton wouldn't have gone on a ridiculous run and gotten to like 8th place or something? Thing is, we don't know what's going on with Man City in their court case as well. Like they might, they if they lose that court case, 5th is then Champions League. What's not to say Wolves don't get 5th place and get Champions League? What's not to say Burnley, who are in the top 10, what's not to say they go on a silly run and get into 6th place and get Europa League? It's nobody knows. That's a thing. That's why I just think at the end of the day, like just take each day as it comes, and we'll find out the correct outcome from the Premier League.
Yeah.
Jim Wallace says 3-3-2. No idea what he's on about here. Sorry, mate. Explain a bit more. But yeah. So
is he on about the sale of the club? 332 million. Whatever.
Not sure. He just says 3-3-2, but
yeah, the explained will be the question.
Exactly. So, if you had to pick a day for the football to come back, if it was to come back, when would it be?
For me, if we're going to get the season up running again, it has to be next month at the latest. Has to be.
Yeah.
And for me, if it's going to be at the middle of June, right? I'd say the middle of June, around the 14th or 15th, like around the middle. And if they're going to try and get it done in, thing is, we've got 9 games, haven't we? It's going to take at least 5-6 weeks to get these games done, plus FA Cup as well, not to forget, and Champions League and Europa League. They say 6 weeks alone just on Premier League fixtures, but what about the FA Cup games? Like we've still got to play. We're quarter final, then you've got a semi final at Wembley, and then you've got a final at Wembley as well. So like, if you start in June, thing is though, right? It's the season's not going to be done by the end of July.
Exactly.
Anyway, you get into August where the new season's supposed to start. What's going to happen with their break? How much break are they going to get? And also, when does the new season start? What's going to happen to the transfer window? What's going to happen to the players' contracts? Because the players' contracts run out at the end of May.
I know.
At the end of the players' contracts run out at the end of this month. So what happens to those on loan, like Bentaleb? Like, to be fair, I'll be glad to see the back end of them, to be honest.
I definitely. I'm just going
But yeah, sorry, if I was to put a date on it, yeah, for me, about the 15th of June. If it's not done by then, cancel it.
Oh, Arsenal says it's the three bald people. Hi, because I'll wear haircuts. Hi, hope you're keeping well, man. Lawrence says, think PSG, Marseille, Rennes, Lille, AZ, Ajax, Feyenoord, PSV, and Willem have their European places.
That hasn't been confirmed, though. That's the thing. It's not. What they've done is they've cancelled the season, but they haven't. What they've done is they give PSG the league, but they haven't gave those places. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they can't just. That's where the uproar. That's where the uproar will be. If you're saying the likes of Lille, Feyenoord, PSV, and William II, if they've all got their places, what about the teams just below them? Where it would have only been like maybe a point or a couple of on goal difference? Like, do you know what I mean? Do you see where I'm coming from? You can't just give them them places. You can't. Thing is, that's like cancelling the Premier League, right? And Newcastle beat 8th, and everyone else gets their places, and we don't have, and we were only like a point behind the team in 7th or whatever. We've been uproar that. Like, why would they be allowed their places? But like, if we were to play the rest of our games, we could have got like 5th or 6th. We could have gotten there.
Awesome Blog says, can I come in? Yeah, sure. I'll do is I'll drop the link in and you could come in. So who would mind leaving the live stream next?
I'll leave.
Yeah, no problem. Not a problem.
I always go to order people that come in the stream. So like, obviously it should be like fair, like the next person.
Yeah.
Right. Catch you later.
See you later. See you later, and I'll definitely I'll drop you a call very, very soon.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah,
take it easy. Watch what you're doing, mate. All the lads.
Geordie says a day that has the best weather of the year would do.
I don't think the thing is, I don't think the Premier League really matter about the sort of day. I just think they just want to try and get the league done if they can. I'll say it again. You know, give them until I think 15th of June. Then if you're saying 6 weeks, then you're talking by the end of July, and then after that, it's up to them what they want to do with their breaks. What happens to the summer? Because you got to remember, if the season just finishes in July, right? Not to forget what happened at a Europa League final or a Champions League final or an FA Cup final. You could be talking like the second week of August. You know what I mean? And it's like, what happens with the window? What happens with the players' contracts? And when does the new season start? Like, if it's going to start, you could be talking the start of October. And
definitely,
but then do you know how you normally have like a Saturday? Then you have like the odd time in the Premier League where you have like a Tuesday game, but not as many until you get to Christmas. Unfortunately, if the league starts in October, it's going to be Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. It's going to be that all the way through until about February, until the games start calming down, and then you try and get to a level. You need to try and get to an even keel. That's the thing. Thing is, I've always said, and I'll say it now. Good luck to the Premier League and the AFL making these decisions because it must be tough.
It probably definitely is. Liam and UFC. It should be called the Ball Show. Just having banter. Yeah.
Banter with your bottle of Fanta.
Liam and UFC also says, I think next season will start September, October time. That's a possibility. Don't rule it out.
That's what I've just said. I just think if it starts in October, it depends on how long these players get a break. But then again, though, if they don't give many breaks, say the season ends and they give them a couple of weeks, right? Yeah. Can they really complain given that they've just had like 2-3 months like now? Do you know what I mean? I don't think they could. I know it's going to be difficult for them, and they're paid professionals. But the thing is, in a sense, we're quite lucky. But with a new season, we've got to get it started though because the Euros have now been pushed for next summer.
Yeah.
The thing is, we've now lost the Euros. Obviously, they moved the Euros thinking that we could get the season done now, but we're still in the same situation. The problem we've got is we've got to try and get next season up and going. We've got to meet the deadline for the Euros. The reason they can't push the Euros anymore after next year because the year after that we've got the World Cup, but I think it's in December instead of the summer. But you can't have a Euros in 2022 in the summer and then have a World Cup and then have a World Cup like 6 months later. Like that just wouldn't work. So what I'm saying is, Peter, next season you've got to get it running very, very quickly soon.
Definitely. Geordie says Dutch League both is Ajax and AZ. Alkmaar will go into the Champions League qualifying stages pending ratification by UEFA.
Only problem with that though is you've got the clubs just behind them though that they might say, well, hold on, like we're only like a couple of points off. I don't think they can do that, and I just don't think it's possible. Like the same in France, the same in Italy, England. Honestly, and it sounds daft to say, but I can't see there being even if somebody wins the Champions League, if they get it going for this season, I don't think there's going to be any Champions League or Europa League football. I just don't think they're going to have the space. They're not going to have the time. I think they'll just be the domestic cup competitions in each country. There'll be the FA Cup, League Cup in this country, and then the same will be in Italy, Spain, France, whatever. Where they're going to find the time to get Champions? And thing is, BT, they're all going to have to take a hit at some point. You know what I mean? UEFA, right? They'll have to take a hit for Champions League and Europa League. But the thing is, they're going to make it back because they've got the Euros. It's the UEFA Euros. So next summer they're going to make that back anyway because fans will be traveling, around the Europe anyway if it's possible to go and watch the games. So they're going to make it back anyway.
Liam says teams who don't get big attendances like Burn, Macclesfield, Fleetwood, Oxford, Forest Green, Morecambe, and teams like that, I fear for. Yeah, well, we were me, Lawrence, and Dee were having a discussion. We were actually having a discussion about this as well.
Yeah, we did.
You fear for the lower league clubs that could technically go bust because they rely on people, for when they go to the game through tickets or things like that.
Yeah, I think they do rely heavily on the gate fans coming in, especially season tickets. A bit like Newcastle, they rely on the merchandise, the food, the 50-50s, the things like that. They do rely heavily on that. Also, if say for example you're on League One, League Two, or non-league, you might get on the TV the odd time on BT Sport or on Sky Sports. So you're calling out for a game on the TV because that audience, it generates money for the club. Obviously, the Premier League have decided to donate £1 million, I think it is, to all of the clubs from the Championship downwards. The thing is, they might have to do that again if the games get played behind closed just to keep them afloat. Yeah. Or it's either that or the FA have to do something because you can't have these clubs going bust. Fleetwood, I think, will be okay to be fair because I think their owner's quite rich, but that's not to say nothing will happen to them. But you do fear for like the league, especially the League One, League Two clubs. I think Championship clubs may be able to hold their own because of, like, say, you look at like a Fulham or like a Huddersfield who have had Premier League money and stuff. I think a lot of them can survive because there's a lot of big games in the Championship. There's a lot of big attendances, but yeah, definitely League One, League Two level, non-league, you do have to fear for them. So yeah, I agree.
Say Lawrence said, World Cup is December, so glad that the Women Euros got moved to 2022. Yeah.
Might get moved. The thing is, nobody's to know that these things won't get moved again. I mean, they're just temporary moves at the minute because it's not 2022 yet. We're still in 2020. Do you know what I mean? So a lot can change. That's why I don't. When they're moving like schedules of different venues, I take each day as it comes, each week as it comes, each month as it comes, because we're nowhere near that year yet. But I do agree. Like at the minute, we're just got to take each day as it comes.
Geordie says that's what the Dutch league have confirmed, but.
Yeah, the Dutch league might have confirmed that, but UEFA might say, well, actually, hold on, they've got to look at all. If all the clubs below complain, which they're going to, which they have anyway, then UEFA can't really do much. They can't then say, well, actually, yeah, we'll give them we'll give those clubs those places because those clubs are complaining. Because by law, if the games were to still be played, what's not to say the clubs below wouldn't have caught them? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's talk anyway. Say Harry Peter from David. Yeah, how you doing? Lawrence also says, still remember Darlington going bust because of a lack of people watching. But to be fair, they shouldn't have tried to play in such a big stadium.
Well, I'll tell you a story of that one. It was the owner, obviously, wasn't he? He came in, he built this huge ground thinking Darlington were going to, obviously they're on the map, aren't they? They were like League Two side. He thought they were going to get 25,000 capacity attendances, and it was never going to happen. I mean, I think if I'm not wrong, I think they're averaging around 1,000, maybe 1,500 maybe a couple of thousand to be fair, just to not do them down. But Darlington have never really been a top club to be fair. They've always been. When I used to watch them back in the day, they were League Two. I don't think they were any, maybe League One, but I don't think they were any higher than that. When you get a club that just, between each leagues. But yeah, like 25,000 stadium, you're deemed to fill, like you're deemed to go in administration because that sort of ground, it's going to be hard to maintain if you're not filling that ground every week. The same can happen with MK Dons. I just don't know how they do it. Like they've got a huge ground, they don't fill it. I think three quarters of that ground is actually empty. MK Dons.
Liam NUFC says, as for lower league teams, including Sunderland, we can't have another Bury situation. Definitely not. No, you can imagine how
Problem is, and thing is, never say never. I don't want it to happen, but you don't know. Like you don't know what people's financial situations are. You know, you've got like obviously a club like Barnet, for example, who are non-league. Apparently, their attendances have dropped hugely. They used to have like, I think they were averaging around 3,000 fans. Now they're only getting like 1,000. Apparently, that the staff have been laid off. The manager's gone. There's certain clubs, there's certain clubs right now in the EFL they've had to let the managers go. I think Luton have been one of them as well. Luton, who were in the Championship, I think they've let one of their managers go because they couldn't afford to keep him. Money, but we don't know what's going to happen to these EFL clubs. I think even I heard something wrong about Burnley apparently going bust. Apparently, if they don't get their TV, Burnley are in the Premier League. You know what I mean? But they rely on that 40, 50, 60 million that they get in TV rights, and if they're not getting that, how do Burnley, like a club like Burnley, survive? You know what I mean? They're a town.
Let's talk NUFC. The next thing will be scrapped is the Spanish League. There's talks of that could come back, but again, they could still definitely cancel it.
We've got to watch what the Bundesliga do. Obviously, you're saying it was coming back, but it might then go back to what it was.
But it's gone into jeopardy because apparently Solomon Kalou broke the rules, and apparently 10 people have apparently tested positive for the coronavirus.
Didn't he? He was shaking hands or something like that, wasn't he?
Yeah, I heard that. That's another thing. Apparently, he was shaking hands. Geordie says Sunderland are in massive danger. Stuart Donald is struggling, even though with their attendance just shows how far they have fallen. Yeah, very true. But I know Stuart Donald, he wants the extra investment. He knows he needs it. But at least you like about him, he communicates with the fans, where you look at our communication between the club and the fans, and it's an absolute embarrassment.
I'll give him that. But the thing is with Stuart Donald, he's like one of them. He was a non-league owner, and he's obviously taken advantage on Sunderland being from the Championship to League One with their attendances. Thing is, and I'm not defending Sunderland fans, but he's used them for a quick buck to try and get them out of League One straight away. Didn't happen. He was like that, he was a bit like Mike Ashley communicating with the fans. That no longer happens now because they didn't get that promotion to the Championship after last season. If you watch the Sunderland Till I Die, yes, fair enough, they were looking to try and get up, but it didn't happen. Now Charlie Methven left. Now obviously he went for family reasons. Did he really leave for family reasons, or did he lose that connection with the Sunderland fans? And now the thing is, Stuart Donald now wants to leave because he fears that Sunderland might not get up for a second time and they're losing money. They'll lose them Championship parachute payments. Listen, I'm not stupid. He's went for the buck. That's what he's done. He's trying to go from Eastleigh, where they probably weren't making that much money in non-league, to Sunderland to try and get... Because they know if Sunderland get in the Championship, right, with that stadium, they're going to get TV. They're going to get TV games, and then they'll make money from that.
Yeah, Liam also says... I heard Bournemouth could go bust. Their ground is not much bigger than Bristol Rovers and Leyton Orient's ground.
Well, their runners actually, they've got two separate owners, so they've both got money behind them. And plus, yes, they'll put them on furlough, but I think they're in a very, very similar situation at Newcastle. I think they're very... What I like about Bournemouth is, yes, they get given a rotten deal because of their stadium and their name, but I think Bournemouth, the way they work is actually quite good. And I think they've been criticised, for spending big on players, but I do think they spend within their means for what they can buy. Thing is, why can't a Bournemouth, right, with a 12,000, why can't they like punch above their weight if they're going to go down? At least they can say they had the likes of Callum Wilson, they've had this, they've had that. Oh, yeah. Why not?
Definitely Liam NUFC Donald couldn't get Eastleigh to League Two. That's
what I'm saying. He's used it as a massive advantage to get money out of the Sunderland fans to make themselves a lot wealthier.
Geordie says, did any of you listen to the talk on YouTube with the Newcastle MP about the future with a possible takeover?
I've seen it.
I haven't seen it yet, actually.
I've seen it, but no, like I've seen there was like loads of people in, but I didn't really know what was going on. Like no one was really speaking, so yeah. Oh, do you know the Chi Onwo? I think that's her name.
Chi Onwo.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, sorry, yeah. It's just watching, but
Liam also says again, even if Sunderland got promoted, I think they would have struggled in the Championship because they don't have the money. Very similar with Rotherham.
No, I wouldn't know. I don't know. Like, I think if you get promoted out of the League One at the Championship, I still think you can hold your run in it. I really do. Burton did for a season. Burton, the worst budget in that League One we went down? Stayed up. Yeah, fair enough. They went down the season after. Only just mind they survived an extra. Yeah. They actually relegated Sunderland, but then they had a couple of games to try and save themselves, but they didn't quite do it. But I wouldn't know. I think they can. Wigan did it.
Aye, definitely. NX says, Ari lads, I hope you're
I'm
doing
good,
well.
thank you. Hope you're well.
I've got no new comments yet, but I know Arsenal Vlog said he wanted to come in if he's still waiting. So what I'll do is I'll put the link back in and I'll see what you can do. So I've got no new comments, but just give me 2 minutes, guys, because I need to go for a piddle. So I'll not be too long.
Molly. Let's go. Hello.
Again. So just wait to see if Arsenal Vlogs does come in, because I said he wanted to come in next. So just wait
If
for him.
not, if he doesn't come in like, in the next 10 minutes, then just re-invite somebody else.
Yeah. But we'll just read some more comments. What's he said? Jordy says, which former player still playing would you take back?
Oh, would I take back? In this moment in time, probably Demba from that Turkish club. He's a lot better than Joe Linton, put it that way. You can still find the back of the net. And they're doing really well, I think, in Europe, and if they're still in it, I believe. So I think they're still in the Europa League. Yeah, I think Cisse sort of rings a bell.
Yeah.
Kabay seems to have passed it. Ben Arfa, I don't know where he's gone. What about you, Peter? What about you?
It's a tough one, actually. Oh,
I just think Demba just sticks out.
Why?
He just sticks out. He's still going. He's still playing. So
yeah, Lawrence Taylor like Burton just because they played local hero when we played at their ground, huh?
Oh yeah, I remember Ford. He did he did like a live. No, it was a vlog, wasn't it? And I remember them playing it. I was like, whoa, Burton. Steady on Burton.
David Wall and Newcastle United take over daily. Let's hopefully it'll still happen.
Stay positive. Fingers crossed.
Jody says, sing a song, Shoggy, keep the audience entertained while Peter's off screen. Sorry, but I wasn't off air screen for that long.
I did, but actually, to be fair, I didn't actually see the comments. So I wouldn't be. You know what I mean? So.
Probably find out this week if the takeover happens. Obviously, it happens when it happens, unfortunately.
The thing is, nobody knows what's going on, because what was I saying to you last week? For me, there's no way that we're going to find out at the end of April. We're not going to find out at the start of May. I've always said, right, and I said it a few weeks back, if it's going to happen, we'll find out at the end of the month. For me, moving businesses around and moving, ownership and stuff of a Premier League club, by the way, and plus, how do you know that it's not going slow because of the current pandemic? How do you know because the Premier League on in the headquarters? How do we even know that this is even true? Nothing's from the Premier League being said. Newcastle United haven't said anything. The way I look at it is just sit in and be patient. I'm sort of confident, but all I can say is just be patient.
Definitely. Next also says Demba player, what a player he was. Oh, he was a cracking player, him
him and Cisse were brilliant. You could just you just knew they were going to bang in a goal. Somehow Cisse would either score a world or Demba would just finish. Stoke as well. I remember Stoke City away. I remember that Monday night, cold, wet, rainy.
Lawrence Taylor said he would have Mbabu back and possibly Wijnaldum.
Wijnaldum wouldn't leave Liverpool. That's a problem. He's in. Thing is, we failed Wijnaldum in a sense because our squad really. It had some decent names. Just the manager ruined him. We just didn't have the formation for him. And obviously, it's Newcastle combat at Liverpool. He knows Liverpool is going to win something. He's got better players around him. And listen, he's a Champions League winner. You know what I mean? He's definitely improved at Liverpool. He's not going to make that step back down to us. Then who else did he mention? Sissoko.
No, and Barbu.
But yeah, he's actually, to be fair, I don't think he didn't really get given a chance, but then in that time, his position was already filled. But thing is, every player is not going to be crap when they leave Newcastle. Certain ones are going to be good, and unfortunately, we're just going to have to take the hit to say, you know what, you got away.
Yeah. Jonathan Young says he'd have like Remy, Papi Cisse, Demba Ba, quality players.
That's what I'm saying. The strikers
shot confidence towards the end. Remy he had a good first season, but he didn't want to join permanently. That was the problem.
Don't get us wrong, he was a good player for Chelsea, but I don't think he was really in it for Newcastle. Like if he really wanted to stay, he would have stayed. Cisse, he was good when Demba Ba was there, but the minute Demba Ba got his transfer to Chelsea, when Mike Ashley seen pound signs and he went for $7 million, he couldn't do it on his own. Unfortunately, he struggled big time, and that's where our decline happened because we had nobody to stick the ball in the back of the net, and John Carver was pretty much ruining anybody you could see.
Well, Lawrence said he'd have Rondon back. See, I know people said they weren't fond of him at first. He doesn't score many goals.
I wouldn't say that for myself. After Rondon, I would take if there was no takeover. Of course, I would. Yeah. But if there's a takeover, would you really go back in for Rondon, knowing that there could be better options out there? Exactly. You could get it. Sorry, Pete, I'm just saying you could get a striker from Spain or Italy, where that could be like maybe 22, 23, 24-year-old. Just before that peak. That's what we need. Sorry for interrupting.
What I liked about Rondon, he was good on the ball. He would take any player on, and he would be that person like just said, "Come on, I want to show you what I can do. I can get."
Rondon.
Yeah, Rondon. Yes.
What I like about Rondon is he come in and he proved everybody wrong. Everyone was like, "Oh, he's come from West Brom. They got relegated. He struggled. Why was signing an overaged 29-year-old? He's not really done it for West Brom. How is he going to do it for us?" But let's be honest with you, West Brom, their side, I know the beat were 1-0, but their side was awful. I didn't think he really got any service. But then he came into Newcastle. Yes, fair enough, we played that sort of one up front, but it suited him because what I liked about Rondon, he was great from set pieces. Like he would bully the defence. He used his strong ability on the ball. His heading was fantastic. Sorry, mate.
Pretty good at free kicks, he was actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was good at that, but not only that, he really linked in with a squad. I think the fact he was playing at St James's Park would G'd him up as well. We had a song for him as well, and he really did. Not only that, he mentioned it himself. He was really settled in the area. I think he took his kids to school there as well, and unfortunately, he didn't think Rafa was going to leave. And if Rafa had stayed, he would still be here now. But for me, you know what? For a loan deal, I thought he was probably the best bit of business I think we've done since Cisse. My only thing is, right, and we'll always harp back onto this, we should have actually bought him for £16.5 million.
Fans made it clear when we beat Fulham 4-0 on the final game of last season. We want you to
look at that game. Look at that game he played in. He scored. He was fantastic.
All I had to do is pay 16.5, but Mike Ashley said 16.5 for a 29-year-old. You can stop that.
I can go back to plenty of videos. I got asked about Joe Linton, and I said I wasn't too keen on him. I wasn't too sure. He didn't really fill us with any confidence with his ability where he's been. He's never scored more than double figures at any club he's been at, and for me, that is worrying. Like Rondon, the thing is with Rondon, he did score a lot of goals for West Brom, but unfortunately, because their squad didn't have the ability, he couldn't quite do it for him. I kind of felt really bad for him when they went down because he thought his career was at an end. But we were linked with, because the thing is, he was a very, very good player at Zenit and St Petersburg, and that's when West Brom took the punt on him. But you can't blame him for that relegation. That squad just generally wasn't good enough.
Exactly. Yes. What did Liam NFC says Burton over achieved like Yeovil did when they got promoted to the Championship, but the only difference is Yeovil went back down.
Nah, do you know what? I thought Burton in both seasons actually came to everything. Like, to be honest with you, down at Burton Albion Square when we went, we took the lead and then they equalised. Then we actually won the game 2-1. I remember they were putting the pressure on, but in every game that season, to be honest, there were no pushovers. Burton, mind. I remember they were a tough place to go. They stayed up, and that season as well, they stayed up. But the season after that, when they got relegated, to be fair to them, I generally thought that they were going to do it again. What happened was, if Burton had lost that game against Sunderland, Sunderland would have had a reprieve. Burton would have went down, but Burton beat Sunderland at the Shite Hall. And then Burton had a couple of... But Sunderland went down, so they'd done the hard work, but unfortunately they lost a couple of games. So if Burton could have still been in League One last season, you know what I mean? Before Sunderland could have went back up, but I thought, to be honest with you, I thought that they were a good side. Burton get looked upon as they are a small club, but it'd be like Bournemouth that they were fighting. fighting for the fans.
Yeah, Geordie says he's on about the takeover. I can tell you when it happens. It will happen when it happens. Just sit back and be patient. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. I keep saying this. I just now. The thing is, I'm not going to give up on it. That now isn't the time to be giving up and throwing the toys out the pram, because the thing is, the papers haven't helped themselves when they've been bigging up all these big name managers and all these players, and people have been getting a bit overhyped about it. I think it's important to stay level-headed about it. Just don't get. Thing is, if it doesn't happen, fingers crossed it does. But if it doesn't, don't sit there and be disappointed, because we've been down this road so many times before. The most important thing is get behind the side.
Exactly. Lehman UFC says you can get good players in the Scottish League as well. Yes, I think.
I watch it.
It's far too good for that league.
I watch it. Edward from Celtic, a fantastic footballer. I think he's available for around £13 million. And Morelos, as we've been linked with him as well from Rangers. Another very good player. Yes, he's got discipline problems, but not to mention though, he needs that run, in the Premier League to class himself as a good player. But just to add into that, he's played Europa League football with Rangers as well, so he knows what it means, to play in the sort of big games. So he's got that experience already.
Retro and UFC says I can join. Yes, I'll put the link back in at some point and see who else can join, because I don't know where Arsenal Vlogs has gone at the moment, but he said he fancied joining in. Jonathan Young says, Rondon was the complete package. Great in the air and on the ground, round the channel, great strength, 12 goals and 7 assists. Definitely should have bought him in the summer. Typical Mike Ashley, yes.
Thing is, we had advantage on that because West Brom, right, they didn't get their promotion. We were banging on West Brom in a sense not to go up. Yes. Because if West Brom had got promoted this season, then there was even a talk of giving them Dwight Gale and we'd take Rondon, even if we didn't pay the $16.5 million. For me, that was a straight up offer. Personally, I would have. Oh, definitely. Don't get me wrong, I like Dwight Gale. But I think now this season, I think he's done okay, but he can't finish. He's got the pace and that. He's been injury prone, but he's not really a Premier League striker, is he? I mean, he's probably bottom end Premier League striker, but we don't want to be in the bottom end of the Premier League. But yeah, for me, Rondon, to be honest, for a free loan signing for the season, can't go wrong.
Was it? Instead we'll pay £40 million for Joe Linton, who's not really a striker and only scored 1 goal all season. My God.
Whose idea was it to pay £40 million for a striker we'd never heard of?
Yeah. Anything Retro's going to join, go on, we'll get him in the stream. How you doing, Jay?
Hi, Ben. How you doing,
hi, Jay. I'll be literally 1 minute, okay?
Yeah, about it.
So,
yeah,
Granny and yourself.
Not bad. This one up here, story about the Premier League coming back. Behind closed doors up here.
So what do you make about this, Jay, that the Premier League to come back but behind closed doors, but only played at certain grounds, St James's Park, not one of them apparently. You're looking at it's like some Wembley being mentioned, St George's Park, but you've got some of the Premier League clubs like both Manchester clubs, some clubs in London, and also some clubs down south as well. What do you make of it? Do you think the Premier League should come back, or should they just void it completely?
Just stop it completely, because at the end of the day, we're going to get nowhere with now. They've had how many months to get restored? They said May, they said April, they said nothing about that. So the comments back, we need to come back now, because I got a season ticket there sitting there. I haven't used it since that. What game was it? I went. I can't remember what game it was. Since it was a season ticket at home.
It was Burnley at home.
Yeah, it was Burnley. Yeah, that's it. Since then, nothing. It's been absolutely. I want it back, but if it just in front stores, I understand it. We can't understand it completely. It's behind closed doors. We can't understand it completely.
Do you think the season should just be voided completely now? What Sharky's said.
Yeah, I think they should. We need it behind closed doors. We just got the season, but it's up to the Premier League at the end of the day. We can't say no.
They've still got to get the green light from the government, which I don't know when that is so far. Yeah,
but without Johnson in charge, no chance.
Lehman UFC just says Burton are a non-league team in terms of the size of the club.
Burton's a good side.
I think Burton have deserved it. They've deserved it because, to be honest with you, right, they've come into the Championship, right, and they've played up against teams like Nottingham Forest, and they've played against the likes of Man United and that, and they've actually gave them very good games. So, they might be a small club, but I will definitely not say they're non-league. Like, for me, they've definitely deserved that right of being a a Championship / League 2 side, definitely. Sorry, Championship / League 1 side.
You look at the Scottish League 1 and 2. They're finished now. Right.
I basically just said, in you know what, fans should definitely get their refunds for their tickets, even if they paid just for general sale for like Man City game, or for Sheffield United in the Premier League, or season ticket holders. For me, they should just give them their money back. Give them their money back, and then I mean, the thing is, if they're quick enough to take the money away, then they should be quick enough to give it back.
It should. It's not fair like me got season tickets and all the.
I should give you the money back by rights, but if they don't, it's fraud in the highest degree.
Liam also says same with Fleetwood.
Fleetwood were a non-league side, but they've built like a new stand and stuff, and they're actually filling the ground. I think Fleetwood, Joey Barton's doing bits at Fleetwood.
He's doing pretty well.
Oh yes, I think he's done pretty well.
In
League One, they're in the playoffs at the minute. They I think they might just be outside of it. I don't know, but they'll give anybody a game at the minute. Fleetwood.
What's up the League One then?
Lawrence says doubt Sunderland would have stayed up even if they beat Burton. Fulham or Wolves would have finished them off. They just raised their game once when they went down, not the first or the last team to do so.
Oh, I remember they beat Wolves. Was like 4-0. Wolves were already champions, so I don't think they were really bothered.
Oh, yeah.
No, but the thing is, I don't think Wolves were really that bothered because they got the promotion anyway.
You look at Premier League, League Championship, League 1, League 2. What can't all of them? Can't all of them not?
They're all in the same position as what we're in the Premier League because it's all down to money, isn't it? Because the difference between being in the Premier League and being in the Championship, it's huge. Obviously, the difference between being in the difference between being in the Championship and League 1 and maybe League 2, I don't think the money is really that good. That's why they rely heavily on the you know how in the Championship you get a Friday night game, or you might get a Monday night game, or you might get your game on a Sunday. They don't get as many as what you get in the Premier League because you've got a choice of BT Sport and Sky Sports in the Premier League. You know what I mean? So there's going to be a game of some sort. And that means in either way, the Premier League they're giving out billions anyway to the Premier League clubs.
Yeah.
NX says, I'll be devastated if Takeover doesn't go ahead because you know what that means, and good luck enjoying next season with Bruce if don't. Well, all I'll be saying, if it doesn't happen, don't be too shocked. Definitely not.
Yeah, I think if a Takeover doesn't happen, I mean, yes, it's going to be mid-table again. But with Bruce, what you can guarantee is that in the League Cup, I generally thought he did try against Leicester, but they were the better side. Well, no, they weren't the better side. They beat one a penalty shootout, which it's a lottery, isn't it? But you've proved Steve Bruce has proven in the FA Cup or in any cup competition, he's there to take it seriously. He cares. He generally wants to win something, right? But in the Premier League, yes, unfortunately, we're not going to finish in the top 10 unless we really invest or if we can keep a hold of our better players like Almir or St. Maximin. What's not to say that they won't be sold?
Yeah,
like Ashley's about the money signs. He's done it before. You know, with Wijnaldum to sub. What's not to say he won't do it again? Perez.
He's greedy.
Yeah. Greedy. I won't be. The thing is, it'd be horrible, but I'll go back to the point. We shouldn't be shocked.
Lawrence says, think Joe Linton was a winger in Germany. That's why I could see a new manager playing him unless they want to sell him.
I think Joe Linton, if we get this takeover, I could see him being sent out on loan to a Championship side, just a bit like Mitrovic to get his experience up. If he could do it in the Championship with somebody like a top 6 club in the Championship, if he can bang in some goals, that's the most important thing for him right now is getting goals, which then builds up his confidence. And then if he builds up that confidence, who knows? He could then come back to us the season after. Yeah. He could be good, but then if he's not good in the Championship, then does not tell you the full story to sell him. The thing is, you got to remember, Mike Ashley didn't technically pay 40 million for Joe Linton because we sold Perez for 30, and then Leicester gave us that 30 million pound for our bank, and we only paid the extra 10 million pound, didn't we? For the Joe Linton. So technically, Joe Linton, 10 million quid. If we sell him for like 15 million quid, for example, we're making profit. He's actually making profit.
Right, Lawrence also says, just in, Premier League doctors have raised concerns over the Premier League resuming, issues including lack of insurance if a player catches virus and need to take medical protocols, testing and player welfare clear.
Not only that though, but what was it? Players are like celebrating goals and that, and they start like jumping all over each other and that. Like they're going to start catching stuff. My main concern is in the dressing room. Like they're all going to be together with a manager and that, just talking before the game how they're going to go out and beat this club. For me, how's that right? You know, in Germany they're talking about each player's got their own dressing room. Like since when did like football stadiums have like 10 10, 11 different dressing rooms. I thought there was only 2, unless it's Wembley and you've got like 4 dressing rooms for different events.
True.
Did well, and Newcastle managers, yeah, we're being linked with some with this takeover talk, but
That was always been my first choice.
I've heard nothing about that this week. Nothing.
I'd love to get Rafa back personally.
Will he come back?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think if the money's right, definitely.
Liam in UFC, Fleetwood will win the playoffs with Oxford, Portsmouth, and Peterborough. Yeah, they definitely are. Yes.
Yeah, they get through that if it does happen in League One.
Lawrence also says, in fairness, we'd have probably beaten Leicester if Chowdhury got his red for his horror tackle on Richie. This was without players like Almiron and ASM as well. And Bruce was gone absolutely mad about that.
Don't get us wrong. Yes, it was a poor tackling and it was a red card, but against Leicester, that's all ifs and buts in the cup, though. Even if he got sent off, what's not to say that the outcome wouldn't have been the same for a penalty shootout?
Bruce was going absolutely mental over that challenge, and he said he was so.
But the thing is, when you're relying on Mutu to try and when Mutu got you the goal, if you're relying on people like him to get you goals, you know something's not right.
It's just terrible.
Liam UFC, he also says again, if a takeover doesn't happen, I won't be shocked if a third relegation happens. But this time we won't come back up because the championship gets stronger and stronger each season. Yeah, definitely. If we could,
no guarantee, but I think we do have advantage over a lot of clubs, though.
Definitely, but I think definitely a third relegation will be on the cards of Mike Ashley.
It depends. The thing is with this, though, it depends who he sells and who he brings in. Do you know what I mean? It depends. You can't. The thing is, yes, okay, if the third relegation could be on the cards, but we can't necessarily say that. It depends on if he sells a certain player but brings in a player that could do well. Who's not to say that we can't have another freak season? That's a thing with Mike Ashley. We've had a 5th place finish, yes, 1 5th place finish, but we've obviously had a 10th place with Rafa Benitez. But apart from that, it's not been great. But the thing is, we can generally have a freak season.
Yeah,
like a 5th place. You know what I mean? That's what's not to say like we sell. Let's say, for example, because you can sell these players. To say, for example, we'll sell ASM, but we'll get like we'll sell Joe Linton, but we'll get a better striker in or a better midfielder in. That's maybe better. Well, we think they're worse than ASM, but they actually turn out to be good. The link in with the squad.
But if we were selling players like ASM and Almiron, then oh god, I'd be.
But the thing is, with Mike Ashley, that's a given though. Like that's going to happen. Like you've got, I think a lot of fans now. Like everybody's getting excited with ASM and Almiron doing well, but rightly so. It's the right thing. You got to be excited, but you can't be excited because Mike Ashley will sell him. He's not daft. He's a business guy.
The money. You don't put the money.
Drafter as well.
He'll be gone. Doesn't matter. Oh, it doesn't matter what he says. Oh, I love the club. I love the club. Didn't all the players mainly say that and they got sold?
Apparently, Matt Rich, he's doing his isolation down south somewhere on his farm or something like that.
Is he ready for his Portsmouth transfer? Is that why he's doing it?
I think he's done that already. But Portsmouth Monday, he said.
Do you think there is talk he could go back to Portsmouth? I could.
He's a fan though. He's a fan of them.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense. If we get a takeover, right, and he doesn't get much game time, I hope he does next season because I still think he's a big player for the club. Yeah. One of my favourite, he's my favourite player at the football club because I think he wears his heart on his sleeve. He's passionate. You know what I mean? He loves the fans. You can see the passion in every time he scores. I think with Richie, if I would only let him go, I think Portsmouth will get him on loan. Maybe we pay half. We pay half, and then if he does well at Portsmouth get promoted to the Championship, we pay half, and they pay half. But then say he does well. If Portsmouth start doing well in the Championship and earn some money, might buy him.
Yeah. Geordie says, how much you think Joe Linton's worth? So far, he's probably worth about £4 at this moment of time, the way he's playing.
No, it's 40 pence. It's 40 pence.
40p, yeah.
If I'm being, because of how bad he's been this season, I'll probably say 10 million. You can't, I know he's being poor, but because he's a Premier League footballer, if you're being realistic, because he's still classed as a Brazilian. Brazilians are like a highly valued footballers. I'd say between 10 and 50 million still. Yeah, we'll take a massive hit on him, but technically we'll make profit because he hasn't paid the 30 million for the 40 million for him, so he's only 30.
It's crap.
Thing is, I knew we were going to take a hit on Joe Linton. I can say we're not going to get the money back that we paid for him. I'm sorry.
No.
Liam UFC again. He says Mike Ashley treats the Championship like it's the Scottish League. It took Villa 3 years to get promoted, and they spent more money than us.
They did.
Well, the thing is, obviously, Mike Ashley knows what he's doing. Obviously, it's crazy. I think we've had 2 relegations, but I've always said, like, when we've been relegated twice, we've had, like, sides that are good enough to probably finish somewhere around the top of mid-table, and we've somehow gone down with them. But yeah, we might have got rid of some of our better players, but we've still kept some of our experienced Premier League players in both, the Championship season of 2010-11 and the season of 2016-17. We've still had big names in that squad, do you know what I mean, that have got were promoted. But not only that, those who are very good in the Championship, we can still attract them. Also, we can still attract Premier League players to drop down into the Championship for Newcastle because it's Newcastle United, because of the stadium, because of the fan base. Look what Matt Ritchie did. Shelby stayed. These players could have easily, for one, Ritchie didn't have to come. Shelby might have thought, you know what it is, like, I'm too good for this league. I might stay in the Premier League somewhere. But the thing is, it's Newcastle, 52,000 fans, Rafa Benitez. But not just, if you take Rafa out the full equation, it's Newcastle United Football Club you're playing for. You're representing this badge, and then they know how much it means.
Paying for the shirt, paying for the passion.
We're not a tin pot football club. We are a club that has got huge expectations to be higher up in the league, but the owner doesn't share that. But if we're in the second division, we are the biggest club in that league, hands down. We are the big attraction. We are like the Barcelona in that league that should just go up and win it. And we'll have to.
We're doing it twice, but we can do it again.
I'd be confident we'll go straight back up. It's not a given, but it's Newcastle United Football Club. You know what I mean? Like, when we were in the Championship, we were coming up against clubs that only got like 15 to 25,000. We're getting 52.
Yeah. Andrew NFC says, I'd definitely loan out or sell Joe Linton, even if it's for £5 million.
If the thing is, he's not proved it this season. I've always said, like, for Joe Linton, I'll give him till January. If this new season come in, to see, if just obviously because you can have a freak first season because it's his first time in the Premier League. Give him maybe next season to see what he does between now and January. If he's bagging in maybe 5 or 6 goals, and maybe keep him on a bit longer. But if he's nowhere near 5 goals by then, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to loan him out.
He needs support up front. He needs that support.
Yeah, I agree with that. He has been starved of support.
Yeah, but he's to blame for that. He's to blame for that because I've seen St. Maximin and Almiron get the ball so many times. They've took it up the top end of the right end of the pitch. They've tried to cross it in, and where's Joe Linton? He's still in the halfway line. What's he doing? Make yourself a presence. The thing is, he's too weak. Like, when the ball comes in the box, head the ball, head it.
And when we were playing Southampton, when we had Dwight Gale, he was getting in the box. He was getting on the end of crosses from Shelby.
Fair enough, he missed, but he was bursting the gut though. Like, he was bursting the gut to try and make something. The thing is, on that day, we should have hammered Southampton about 4 or 5-0. And all our fans came out at the end. They were so salty. Oh, but we didn't deserve to lose that game. Actually, you should have lost by me. We made you look amazing by only winning 1-0. If we went so crap up front, if we took our chances, we're winning that game 4 or 5-0, hands down. You were crap.
The referee and VAR ruined the game. VAR's brought in for a reason. Red card, 100%.
Straight away. And it's not that though. To be honest, I thought the referee didn't have a bad game. I thought the referee gave us some good decisions. The thing is, in that game against Southampton, right, which was our last game, the problem we had was Dwight Gale got in some good areas. He just couldn't finish.
The best game we had them on toast. That 2-2 done Man City. That was the best season. Man City game. I don't know. And that game was enjoyable. We actually did well.
Which one are you talking? Are you talking about the 2-2 or are you talking about the one from last season?
The 2-2 this season.
That was a entertaining game, to be fair, like, as well.
Sorry to say about De Bruyne scored the goal of the game. Probably the goal of the season.
I was there, oh, for God's sake. I was there,
Well, the thing is, just as well, we're not playing any more games because the next couple of games would have been Man City again at home, and I don't think I can bear to see if we do something stupid against Man City.
More comments. Jonathan Young. Mike Ashley is an evil person, but to be fair, he made sure we had the resources to be able to get promoted twice after he got relegated. But now it stopped, pretty much.
Oh, but the thing is, you say, yeah, fair enough. But the problem is, he still neglected the club for 13 years, though. Still been neglected. The thing is, we shouldn't be Yeah, fair enough. I've got a divine right to stay in the league, but the thing is, we shouldn't be getting relegated to start with. We've got we've had so many crap managers, right? Apart from the 08-09 season, I thought the minute Kevin Keegan was dismissed, he wasn't dismissed, but he would have been dismissed if he'd stayed because he was never happy with the board. The thing is with Kevin Keegan, when he walked away, you knew there was problems straight away. Chris Hughton got given a chance, but he didn't really have the experience. He only took it on when we got relegated. But Joe Kinnear, like, what? Alan Shearer, like, the thing is, he got made a scapegoat because he tried, but
He wanted to try and save the club,
Thing
definitely.
is, your favourite manager as well in 2016, Steve McLaren. What can he do? Shit.
Oh, him. Oh,
Crap.
that clone of a man.
Crap.
He's crap. The family to be at Newcastle was Kevin Keegan and Sid Robertson. Bobby.
Good rough eye.
Kevin Keegan.
Liam again. Also, this time we won't have the right manager to get to get us back up like the previous two.
Problem is, we
Possibly-
can't. Sorry, we can't really be thinking about relegation because right now we're not in the relegation zone. Like we're not getting relegated. You know what I mean? We can't. Even next season, there's no guarantee that we're going to get relegated. Even who knows what Ashley would do? Who knows how much money he's going to give? Mike Ashley's one of them ones, right? Where yes, we'll criticize him, but you don't know if he's actually what he could invest quite big or he could invest very little. Mike Ashley's one of them. I'm not right. If we don't get the takeover, I'm not expecting Mike Ashley to spend at all. It's the same with all owners because there's no money around. The transfer window is completely knackered because players are not worth anything. You know, their values are down anyway because the economy is knackered. Not just in England, but everywhere. But the problem is, right, we're not in the relegation zone. We've got to take it one season at a time. If we get a takeover, we're not getting relegated unless we really mess up with a takeover.
Yeah.
But with Mike Ashley, you just don't know what you're going to get at. That's why I keep saying we're a mid-table, mediocre club because that's our expectations to finish mid-table and still.
Yeah, Geordie says, George Jesus linked to the club. Haven't heard of him since we played in the Europa League. We were talking about him the other day, definitely.
I'd definitely take him. Yeah, okay, he doesn't speak English, but he'd be like Pochettino, he'll learn. But the thing is, he's won 22 domestic trophies with Benfica, Sporting Lisbon.
Well.
But the thing is, you know what? He's won it with Al Hilal. He's done it with Flamengo. The thing is, he's. I know you got to give these guys a chance, but I don't think he'd be the top priority for everybody. But wait and see.
Liam again. Sunderland are bigger than some Premier League clubs, but ended up in League One, so it shows you have no rights to come up, regardless how big you are. Look at Nottingham Forest.
Well, Sunderland can't fill the ground in the Premier League. Never mind League One.
They got it. They couldn't call.
Sorry, Sunderland, but you can't.
Lawrence also says, as I said to you guys on our group chat after the game, I'm glad the ref went to the screen instead of asking the people at Stockley Park like every referee should. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, referees in more games should be given to look at the monitor screen rather than relying on people at Stockley Park to make the decisions completely.
But I blame the referees for that, though, because why is it taking Michael Oliver to be the first person to go and do that? Like, why did it take like a couple of months? How many months was it into the season? It was a good 3-4 months, wasn't it? And they were just relying on Stockley Park. That's why the World Cup was so successful, because it did it correctly. The referees done it on their say. They went and looked at why did it take 3-4 months into the season for them to do that? No, I mean, it should have been done. The thing is, we're arguing about all these decisions around August, September time. Yeah, because you silly referees weren't looking at the bloody monitors. You were just looking at what Stockley Park was doing. You've got 2 eyes. Go and use them. It's your game. You go and have a look. If you're fully stuck, then yeah, go and check Stockley Park. But use your 2 eyes and go and check the screen.
Susan Graves the opportunity. I knew he was going to send Musa Janep off for Southampton. I knew he was.
Record. Silly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Still waiting for some new comments, but I could drop the link in and I could get some people back in the stream who were in it again before. So yeah.
You look at in the past. We've seen some good games in the past. Some brilliant games in the past. But look now, and then just look now, but no one knows. We should.
Yeah, but in all of this, though, where the fans aren't to blame for our demise, 13 years, we are not to blame for any of this.
Actually to blame.
The thing is, Mike Ashley always says, "Oh, the buck stops with me." Yeah, I get that, but you've got to. Oh, I'm not going to leave Newcastle United until I win something. Oh, and by what I mean by win something is the Champions League. That will class as winning something. Hold on, Mike Ashley. We're not going to win the Champions League if we keep selling with better players. And to be fair, we've never ever looked like finishing in the top 10. Never mind the top 6.
Mm-hmm.
Never looked like it.
Lawrence said January when Derby beat Palace in the FA Cup 3rd round. That was when Michael Oliver had the look at the screen in that game when he sent Milivojevic off. I think it was. Was it him?
Oh yeah, I remember him. He scored at St James's, didn't he? We lost 1-0 last season.
Mm-hmm.
The penalty for Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
But he's someone I would definitely take a Newcastle man for short term. Like now when you're building something for like a set, you want that set piece taker at your club. Someone who's going to take your penalties. Like when a pen comes around, him.
Yeah.
He says VAR or no VAR. I think
Yes.
VAR for me now, because
I
I've
think,
seen
yeah.
so many players get away with decisions so many times that God knows past how many seasons, whether it's challenges that should be red cards that they only give yellows out, penalties being awarded for diving when it was a clear dive and they've been given it all day long. There's some people you can point out, in particularly the likes of Wilfred Zaha and all that as well. And
It's the timing. It's the timing more than anything else. That's one thing they need to improve.
The decision.
Because the thing is, you could be standing there for like 5 minutes, like sitting there thinking, well, like, what's going on? Like, is it a goal? Is it no goal? Is it a red card? Is it a yellow card? Is it a free kick or is it no free kick? Like, we're all thinking for 5 minutes, like, what's going on? These decisions should be done within about a minute and a half maximum. You need to cut the timing down. That's something the Premier League, I think, would have worked on anyway this summer. Once the season is done, they'll look back at the full season. They'll think, where can we improve? Definitely the decision making in terms of how quick we'll get there. Because some decisions. I mean, do you remember the Burton game in the Championship when we won 1-0? Oh, I was at that one. The referee was awful. He gave a penalty, which it was a penalty anyway. Well, or was it? Oh, no. I don't even think it was a penalty. I think we were given it. What happened in that game as I was there? Burton committed a foul, and it was a penalty, and he didn't give it. And then Burton committed another foul, which it wasn't actually a foul, and we got given a penalty. But anyway, he gave the penalty initially. So anyway, it makes up for it makes up for the first one, which should have been given. So we got given the penalty. Matt Ritchie scores, and then apparently it was an encroachment or whatever it was. He apologised at the end, but it took him 5 minutes to give Burton an indirect free kick, which for me that's a retake. If you miss your penalty, it's a retake. I couldn't believe he comes out and have the audacity to apologise. Yet you're lucky that Matt Ritchie bailed you out. If Matt Ritchie didn't score that world game, we beat them 1-0. If we'd drawn that game, and that could have been the difference between us getting promoted and even winning the title, because we only won it on the last day. By the way, I was at Ipswich away, and I actually literally conceded the title. I thought, Burton have got that promotion. They hadn't quite won the league yet, but I remember just leaving Ipswich when we lost 3-1. I said, you know what, these have got the title. I'll get that's it. It's done.
Liam and UFC, we won't win anything. Lower league teams came closer than us on winning something.
Well, with a takeover, never say never. I think if that's what we need, we need investment. That's what we're lacking. Like, we've got the capabilities of winning something, but we have to use our own identity to do that. Like, we can't just buy, big name players, because they're not going to do that until we change our training facilities anyway. No, as a club, we have got the mentality to win something. I do believe that we can win something. What's not to say, if the season's played behind closed doors, it wouldn't feel the same. But who's not to say we can't win the FA Cup? I know I'm not bothered in a sense, but who's not to say we can't?
Okay.
They say you're in it to win it.
Yeah, Lehman UFC again. Even in Wigan and Birmingham won it domestic and both got relegated. I remember that.
Yeah, but that's different. Yeah, but the thing is, that's different campaigns. Or like football moves. The thing is, you got to realize football moves on every season, and football clubs change how they go about things.
True.
Andrew in UFC. I think VAR is here to stay in football, but needs refining and needs to be clearer to fans in the stadium. Yeah, 100% agree with that. Absolutely.
Not leaving. The thing is, you've cost money, but they've seen it in the World Cup. They're like, you know what? If it can work in the Euros and the World Cup, the World Cup, then yeah, we'll use it. The Premier League is the best league in the world. It's the most expensive league in the world, and you can't afford to make any dodgy decisions now. It's costing too many games points.
Lawrence says should be a 30-second time limit on the video, and if the ref doesn't make up his mind, he has to stick with the original decision.
No, I think a minute and a half, because you got to remember, by the time he walks over to the TV and has a look, you've got to give him at least 30 seconds to have a look at the screen. You've got to try and get it within the first 30 seconds to 45 seconds. And if you can do that, then that limits the time. I think a minute, you've got to at least give him a minute and a half. That's not. Then the thing is, that time can be added on at the end as well. You know, for stoppage time. Not in the first half, but in the after 90 minutes added on.
This is an interesting one. How about the idea of stopping the clock whilst VR's being checked?
Nah, they were going to do that, but this is the games are just going far too long. They can't afford to do that. Like, it would be a bit dodgy. Nah, I wouldn't agree with that. But the thing is, it's not just that. But what was it? There's a dodgy decision like every 5 minutes, and you'll keep stopping the clock. Imagine being in the game for like 3 hours because you keep stopping the clock. Like, it's not basketball. It's football. It's the Premier League's supposed to be a fast league with skill, not just like I don't want the Premier League turning into like League One and League Two where it's like stopped every 2 seconds. No, none of that.
No. UFC. we only won the championship because of Brighton bottling it against the likes of Bristol City and Villa. I actually thought Brighton was going to get the title when we started to.
No, to be honest, I know what it is. I disagree. I think you know what it is. Yes, I did say they were going to win the title, but the thing is, you win the title on merit. And over the season, we were the better. Thing is, we were the better side over the season. Even though yes, we were top for the majority of that season, then fell apart. Then we ended up getting second, and then we got it on the last day. At the end of the day, we won it on merit. Where did Newcastle finish? Top. Thing is, with Newcastle, right? We could only beat what's put in front of us.
Yeah, definitely. Lawrence just playing Andrew in UFC, that would be good, but as I said, we're a bit iffy on that one. And Lawrence again just replying to Lean's comments saying about Brighton just missing out on the championship. So, but
the thing is, you've got to beat what's put in front of you, and like that's what we did. You know, at the end of the day, I give our lads credit for the way in which we, you know what, we didn't just concede a second place. We thought, you know what, we're going to go and beat Barnsley last game of the season, right? And yeah, fair enough, they stayed up. But we're going to play them, and we're going to give it our best shot, and we're going to see, you know, what we're not going to focus on Villa too much in that game against Brighton. We're just going to do our jobs and see what happens. In a sense, the players probably believed that they could win the championship, but I think, Mike, actually, I don't think in a sense, yes, I would have loved. I'm glad we got the championship title because it's the game I wanted to see. I wanted to see us lift another title, you know, that's St James's. But the thing is, the fact that like even if we just come second, Mike actually knows he wanted to get promoted anyway.
Yeah.
You need to see the club back in the Premier League for the money. So even if we finished second, I think the fans wouldn't have been too disappointed because at the end of the day, we've beaten Brighton, Barnsley 3-0. But the fact we'd stayed up, so we got promoted. But the City can't be in the championship. I'm sorry, but
No.
Yeah. Andrew in UFC, many matches this season VR has been used and the added time lost during the checks hasn't been added on at the end.
there have been certain games, not in every game. I do agree, not in every game, but that's something they will be doing like when the season comes back. Because at the end of the day, you can't just keep stopping the game you can't keep stopping the clock. Because you know what I mean, it's gonna, you know what I mean. You could be imagine if it's like a nighttime game and you're on the ground till the games at nighttime tend to finish about 10 o'clock, unless it's like a cup game, unless it goes like extra time and penalties, it's about 10:30. Imagine if you're still playing like Burnley at St James's Park and we're still playing at like 11 o'clock because you keep stopping the clock. You can't kind of get home. Which I'm sorry, but you can't do that. I think you just basically add the time on at the end, either in the first half or at full time.
Yeah.
True.
That's why I say you need a minimum of a minute and a half. A minute and a half, it doesn't sound like a lot of time when you think about it. When it comes to full time, it's not a lot of time. You can play that in a minute and a half, and the game's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a possibility. So,
unless you're the dodgy referees in the championship and you decide to take 5 minutes for a bloody penalty to be scored.
True.
and then said the free kick like they did that against Burton.
I was I said you're not fit to referee. I remember singing it.
It was Keith Stroud, wasn't it?
Oh! Don't even mention that name to me. Don't even mention his name.
No, I have a name.
Another name that should have been mentioned, not fit a referee, that was Steve Martin against Forest when we lost 2-1.
I remember that game. Oh god!
Sent off.
I remember. The thing is, us and Nottingham Forest as well. Didn't that happen in the League Cup as well, where there was a foul as well, and then Forest were out the and then scored and they knocked out the Carabao Cup. Right, some dodgy refereeing decisions. We have knee looked down Nottingham Forest referees, like we really don't. But talking about karma though, when we took on Aston Villa, and he hit
oh my god, that was funny. That was there as well.
The post here. Oh, that was funny. That day.
I quite like the one thing I like about the championship was just winning games, but like you look at it and you think it's not where we should be. I want to be winning games in the Premier League against like Man United and Man City and getting top 6. That's what I'd like to see.
Aye, definitely. Yeah.
Not just going to like QPR on a Tuesday night and beating them 6-0 and thinking, oh, what a great achievement.
Aye.
Something to add on the Mike Ashley CV.
Liam in UFC. Having us in the championship is like having Aston Villa in the championship. Both teams should be in the Premier League, but Villa has the ambition, but they panicked the summer like Fulham did.
Well, it's not that Fulham. The thing is, we're both not Fulham. Villa, to a degree, they've actually changed ownership. Like we've still had the same owner since the first time we got relegated. So like it's a case of how can you compare their owners to Mike Ashley? Actually, they're a lot better. They're actually a lot better now than what they were before they got relegated. They
No,
actually got relegated and they got new owners and they've looked better since. But then you look at us, Mike Ashley's never changed one bit.
No.
Aye.
We're still in the same predicament. We still have the same old problems.
Well,
Andrew and UFC. I remember us playing Forest to win the championship, absolutely fuming after that. I think a
Friday
lot
Night
of fans were
Football?
fuming after that.
Friday Night Football, wasn't it? I remember watching it.
me as
Friday
well.
night it was down at Forest.
Those
Fucking hell.
decisions, both of them were wrong, definitely. They weren't red cards at all.
Darlow had a worldie that game. If you didn't save those penalties, we probably would have lost like 5-2 or something at the end of that game.
Probably would have, I.
Oh, God, aye.
That's what I'm saying with the championship. Like, it's just like, it's not the fact that we were awful in those games. It's a case of the referees just, they don't really have the help of VAR. They don't have the help of like, it's the Burton one that sticks out for me. I'm like, how do you like give a penalty, we score it, and then it takes you 5 minutes for one, you give him Burton an indirect free kick when it's a bloody another penalty.
Remember this player that played for Forest as well? Nicholas Bentner.
Oh, God.
But no, I remember him. I remember
You
him.
know, it's another thing is that Burton game as well. The funny thing is, the penalty that we got given actually wasn't even a penalty. It was the one that should have been given the first time, but you didn't give it. Like, that was the dodgy. When Lee asked us about that, when we first done fan cams, he asked us about those decisions, and I just remember the referee had a horrible night. Like, Matt Ritchie bailed him out. If Matt Ritchie had not got that late goal, that worldie, we're winning them 1-0. We should have won by more, by the way. Yeah, the referee got bailed out because we won 1-0. If we'd drawn that game, there would have been thunder at the end of that game. There already was a half time.
Liam in UFC again. He said if Redden won that playoff final against Huddersfield, do you think Redden would have stayed up like Huddersfield did? That's an interesting one, actually.
No, I don't think so. Do you know the thing is with Huddersfield, right? And I actually had them to stay up, or did I? And I think I did actually. I had Huddersfield. You know how I do my Premier predictions?
Yeah.
Funny enough, right? I actually put Huddersfield in 16th place, and they finished 16th. That was weird. No, I did. You know what it is? I thought, everyone underestimates all the smaller clubs that come up. Now I always like to give them a chance to do it, and I thought that season they beat us first game of the season. Well, for them. No, actually, they beat Crystal Palace, then they beat us, so they won 2 games in a row. They had 6 points after 2 games. I always knew Huddersfield would go down second season because they just wouldn't have the money. I knew the first season, like everyone would underestimate them, but they beat you. They were a good side. First season, they were good.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like when Ren came up in the 2000 and they were in the
6,
Premier
7.
League. Yeah, did they stay up the first time? I think they did.
I can't remember, but I know they did come up. It was in 2011, 12 or whatever it was.
2007-8 season. I think
the thing is, with Rennes, they're one of them clubs where they'll stay up for one season and struggle because they don't seem to have. Thing is, I wouldn't say Huddersfield got lucky the season before because I thought they actually did spend quite well on players, but I think last season they got found out. That was Huddersfield's problem. Everyone knew how Wagner was playing.
Lawrence again. He says. No idea how Redden finished third. Awful at St James's Park and lost 5-0 at Fulham and 7-1 at Norwich.
It's because that season they were very, very good at the Medeski. They were very good at home. Very good side. Even we drew 0-0 down at the Medeski. Very good side. Redden have always been a very good home side. But like Newcastle, are very good.
Yes.
They smashed a couple of teams. Didn't they beat Brighton? They smashed Brighton up as well. I remember. They were not a bad side, to be honest. They were a tough side to break. Was it Yap Stam as well, the manager? Good manager, to be fair, when he was there.
Lawrence again. Redden finished 8th in the 6-7 season.
Did they? Yes, they did, because they didn't have like Dave Kitson in that. Remember Dave Kitson? Kitson!
UFC Redden went back down. But he says again, if you're talking about their last promotion, yes.
I generally thought out of Huddersfield and Redden. I mean, nobody would have thought Huddersfield would have got promoted. I mean, I think I don't know fan cam before you when we got beat off them, and I said, "Do you know what it is? I think they're going to get relegated," and actually didn't. They're getting promoted.
Oh yeah, remember Redden win the 2012-13 season?
Yeah, they went straight back. Remember Demabor when he scored that absolute worldie at the Medeski? The ball came over the top. He smacked it first time. Remember that goal?
Yeah. Mohammed at St James's Park. We lost 2-1.
Oh, that was who was it? Porgy, wasn't it? Oh, I remember that.
Maybe 2. It was they called him the super sub. That was Adam Lafondra, who scored 2 goals for Rennes when he came on as a substitute.
Oh, Brian McDermott was manager as well. I think it was wasn't it a second or third win or something like that. But we was absolutely horrendous there. But down at the Medeski, I thought we actually played really well. Do you not remember the ball over the top to Demapo? And he smacked it first time. Do you remember that goal or not?
That was a great goal, to be
That was
fair.
a quality finish. You know what? He wasn't even offside. He made a very good run, and he just smacked it. You know, when you hit it on the volley first time, the ball just flights over the top. And he literally he gets such a good connection on it, and he just smacks it past the keeper, and he has no response.
Yeah.
But at the Medeski, I remember me and Fordy, we went to St James's Park in the beanbag because everybody wanted to go to all these games on Tuesday night, and I would drew 0-0. It was a disappointing game. Like, I thought it was just typical Newcastle on a Tuesday night, wasn't it? I mean.
Liam, he also said the team I always had faith in on staying up was Brighton.
Yeah, Chris Hughton.
I adored Chris Hughton when he was at this football club. But again,
Brighton are a stabilised Premier League club now. Obviously, this is their second season with us. Oh no, third season with us now. And to be fair, like, I don't think Brighton are any different to us. To be fair, like, in terms of style and how they go about things.
No.
Definitely not. No.
We're always around each other. I don't think we're any. Our squad is probably no better than Burton's, to be honest. Keep saying Brighton.
Brighton, no.
The thing is, Brighton are a tough side to play against. I mean, Brighton are so unpredictable.
No.
Yeah. Lawrence again. Was that game at St James's Park one of Pardew's worst tactical performances? Williamson was garbage, and also remember Rangers Twitter rants as well.
I remember I wasn't at the game. I watched it on Match of the Day, and we were absolutely. It was just like the way it was set up. It was just ridiculous. We had no game plan, and it was just like Redden. I think we went 1-0, and then Redden just got those 2 late goals at the end. They just smacked them.
Oh, I remember Rangers Twitter rants because he said, "Don't come back if you're gonna keep booing." And who was this person who became famous to YouTube when he delivered that rant about True Geordie? Yes.
We did.
But the thing is, you can't like go 2-0 against Redden, 1-up against Redden, and have all those chances, and then just succumb to a 2-1 defeat like that.
Maybe he said, "Don't boo." Was it don't boo? Don't bother come back if you're going to keep booing.
Yeah, but we're booing because you're not putting the effort in. If you put the effort in, right, and you lose, fair enough. I don't know. I'll accept a defeat, right? If our team actually tries, but if you're not going to try, and you're just going to take it, and if you're just going to take it up the arse, then we're going to boo. Like, we're paying. You got to remember, right? For an adult ticket, you could be paying anywhere between 25 quid to 35 quid, depending on if you're sitting in like, the more specialised seats. You know what I mean? You could be paying more, but like that's money wasted if they're not trying.
Tell you what, that season was pretty awful. Even though we had Europa League football at the time, but we finished 16th that season. We jumped on like 5th to 16th. People say
I knew there was a problem because the minute we finished 16th, right, and then we got rid of Pardew. To be fair, he actually left us in a good position. We actually were in the top 10. Then John Carver came in. He ruined things. I'm the best manager in the Premier League. We've got 8 games without a win, and then somehow we just survived. And then the season after that, when you bring Steve McLaren in, you just know you're getting relegated. And I just knew the minute Carver got the job, I knew we were going down. It was only a matter of time. Only a matter of time.
Liam and UFC, the team I would like to see in the Premier League is my local team, Millwall. They get me final dread going there, to be honest.
No thanks.
Millwall.
No thanks.
Fans are absolute scumbags.
No thanks. You can stay in the Championship, or you can go to League One if you want. No thanks.
Lawrence, again, was also their first Premier League away win of the season, their next one after they were relegated.
We're good at giving teams and clubs. If you haven't won a game or if you need an away win, Newcastle are your club. We're very good at doing stuff like that.
That reminds me of a game. October 2015, 25th, Sunderland, the 3-0 defeat. That was Sunderland's first win.
That's what I'm saying. We're good. We're good at giving you records. If you need a head start in life, if you need a win from somewhere, we'll give you it because we only turn up when we need to.
Exactly.
Not when the fans want it, it's when they believe they should be turning up. It's down to attitude at the end of the day, man. You know what I mean? Certain players that back then didn't want to be here.
Yeah, Lawrence, again. That Premier League season was terrible, not just with us, but the Man United squad that won the title by so many points. Arsenal were the same without Robin van Persie. And had Spurs kept Redknapp, they would have gotten Champions League football.
It's all ifs and buts, isn't it?
Yeah. But Liam again. Remember Derby away in 07-08, they only win that season.
Oh God.
Robbie Savage was playing.
Who?
Robbie Savage was playing for Derby in that Premier League season. He's now a pundit. I remember we played Derby in the Championship season. Was it 0-0 at St James's Park? I remember that. Didn't go away. It was a bit of a dull game, to be fair. And Robbie Savage was still playing for Derby, but in the Championship.
No, they probably nearly won that thing. They could have won it, I think. My God.
There are chances. I remember Kenny Miller scored for Derby down at Pride Park, and that was already winner of the season against us. Kenny Miller, I remember the goal well. Just we had a bit of a mix-up, and then, we're just... Newcastle being in Newcastle, basically just, giving teams victories out of nowhere.
Yeah, definitely. So, well, I don't know if we're going to get much people joining anymore.
Well, Peter, I'll let you go anyway, because like I say, I think you.
I'll wrap it up from there. We'll just read two more comments.
Yeah, no.
1-1 now was 2-2, which Lawrence has just replied back. And also lost 3-0 to Derby in the 09-10 season. Yeah, remember that as well.
They've got a good record against us, Derby, to be fair, but the thing is, we've been in the Premier League. When was the last time you win it?
Only team that concede us, only team to take 4 points of us. Yeah, definitely. So, well, then we'll wrap up the live stream there. So, thank you, lads, for coming in. So, just one more thing. You said you think the season should just be avoided completely.
I basically said just cancel it. I'll only cancel it if they can't get to a decision by the middle of June. I say about the 15th. If they can't get a decision, then for me, they've got to do what the French League have done and basically give the title to Liverpool. Don't relegate anybody. Bring up West Brom and Leeds on merit. The playoffs, unfortunately, you're going to have to scrap them because I could have changed at any time. Fulham are the same. Never look like automatics. Give them compensation. Give the Championship clubs, just give everyone compensation just to say sorry. No Champions League, no Europa League football, and everybody has to requalify.
Jay, what do you think? Say the same thing?
Scrap the season. And
also, refund if the games aren't going to go ahead, right? If they're going to be played behind closed doors, don't play them at neutral grounds, play them at the same stadiums. But also, if that's the case, refund the fans, because football is nothing without the fans. Anyway, guys, cheerio. Thank you very much.
That's it.
See you, Sharky.
See you, mate.
It is, man.
Okay, well then. So, so that was Sharky. I just went to Toonami TV. Feel free to check him out and subscribe to him if you already haven't done so. Great content he's now got with his new channel named Toonami TV. Brilliant. Well then, Jay, thank you as well for coming on. Feel free to check him out.
I've been coming.
Retro in UFC. So again, I'll drop a link in the description for that for your channel as well. So nice seeing you, Jay. Thank you very much for coming on. And yep, so that is the live stream done for tonight. I said I don't think we're getting any more people on at this time. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you again for taking part in last time as well. So yeah, and if you haven't, please don't forget to give the live stream a like. And if you want me to do any more of these in the future, I will definitely do them for you as well. And if you haven't checked me out before, please make sure you do hit the subscribe button. And until the next video or live stream or whatever it is I bring out next, see you all later. Take care of yourselves.